the live with your friends and family as well, repost and add to your story. All right, so you said you're 54, you live in California, you voted for Trump.
51.
51, excuse me. Why don't you regret your vote?
Because I know what true racism. I know there's over 44 million people in slavery that exist today. The biggest nations being China, or Asia, Africa, and the Europe nations are the top three. You are a prime example why this is the greatest nation. You're sitting behind your microphone, probably costs a couple hundred. Your outfit probably ain't cheap. Your bracelets ain't cheap. You probably can go anywhere and do anything you want. So if you don't like the fucking country, get the fuck out, bitch.
I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. We are gonna have a fun time today, aren't we? My bracelets, my microphone, my ring, my shirt, my Okay, let me collect myself. That was funny. I'm not gonna lie. I found that to be hilarious. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ladies, and MAGA, welcome to the live. This is Defend the Indefensible episode 103, where Trump supporters do what they do best. Despite that, there's a growing number of Trump supporters who are tired of this administration's consistent lies, backpedaling, and destruction of the economy, the Constitution, and foreign affairs. So if you happen to be one of those people who are seeing the lights and you want to get up off the MAGA plantation, request up in the box. You read the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Or if you're a Trump supporter who does not regret their vote, you think there's something that I'm missing, something that you can use to definitively tell me to trust and see. Wait, trust the plan. It's coming. Trump 2028 onwards. By all means, you're more than welcome to request up as well, and I can tell you several reasons as to why you're wrong. First and foremost, to address a couple things that last guy said. I don't know how my shirt and my rings or my mic or anything of that nature would do away with racism and the party that it comfortably resides in 2026, empowered or ramped up by the actions of this administration. Specifically, I don't know what you're talking about. To the places that you're referencing that still practice some active form of slavery, we can be talking about like Sudan and how the Trump administration specifically last year tried to, export a bunch of Palestinians to the region. Knowing that there's an active slave trade there, he's actively canceled the asylum applications from people in Sudan fleeing that persecution, fleeing that slavery. So maybe we should have a conversation about that since you care so much about slavery and racism. I don't know how to say your name. How do I say your name?
Saul. Say Saul.
Sal?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Gotcha. Sal, did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, hell yeah, of course. You got to vote for Trump.
You got to vote for Trump. Why do I got to vote for Trump?
Because I wasn't voting for Kamala. Duh. Of course. What are you, crazy or what?
Okay, cool. What's your issue with Kamala?
Yeah, I know. You're tired to hear the sob story. It's okay.
I mean, you reference it as a sob story, sure. What's your issue with Kamala?
No, I'm just saying, I voted for Trump, man, He's doing what he can,
That wasn't my question. You specifically mentioned having an issue with Kamala. You couldn't vote for Kamala. So my contention with you is, what was your issue with Kamala?
Oh, man, look at her fucking word salad and everything. She didn't even know how to present herself, man. She sucked. He's
I
stumped.
don't think some occasional stuttering of words is any way, shape, or form an indicator of being a word salad candidate, especially when the president of the United States has had his fair share of word salads himself. So I don't think that's a disqualifying factor, especially when we're talking about the policies. So do you have a contention with her policy versus her demeanor? Because I really rather not get into why you think Kamala Harris doesn't look presidential. That's, I don't think that's going to be a fruitful conversation. So let's talk about policy. What was your issue with one of her policies?
Yeah, she was gonna throw money all over the fucking place. What do you think she was gonna do? Just fucking hand out money, throw money all over the place.
Donald Trump has done his fair share of throwing money all over the place. We can talk about $40 billion to Argentina, additional spending packages to Israel's defense, ICE agents and the National Guard that are standing around in key cities versus actually, doing something productive. The big beautiful bill, largest tax cuts for the 1% ever in history, while he's slashing the benefits of hardworking Americans. The country is on track to be in $41 trillion worth of debt come 2027. We borrowed additional $2.2 trillion to fund things domestically here from the Treasury. Sounds like a lot of spending. Not to mention, friendly reminder, Donald Trump controls the majority of our national debt. Roughly 28%, the most out of every other president. And that was just from his first term. Ballroom, pool, yeah, literally. So I don't know what you mean by ridiculous spending and throwing money all over the place, because that's what Donald Trump has done, and it hasn't been in key areas that benefit American lives.
Well, all those areas, you got to do what you got to do to spend the money. They're all going to spend the money no matter what. So I don't know what was going to be the difference.
If they're all going to spend the money no matter what, then your contention isn't what the money spent. It's more so where it's being spent to. Would that be a more reasonable argument?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So then what is your contention with Kamala Harris's additional spending, specifically in housing and her initiatives to build 3 million new homes by the end of her first term? Because we have a supply and demand issue in the United States, which has contributed to the cost of housing being so expensive.
Yeah. And what she was going to do, give $25,000 to everybody who qualified? What was going to happen after that?
That was one of the provisions, yes. It was specifically for first-time home buyers, with more so of a softer spot for people whose descendants didn't even own a home. It was $25,000 down payment assistance to individuals who would qualify. One of the qualifications being you have to show a persistent track record of paying your rent on time for a few years, which I think would have been a good thing.
Yeah, but then they would have raised the prices.
No, they would not have raised the prices.
Because everybody catches on.
No, because again, there would have been a small sector of the population that would have been able to qualify for it. The implementation of policies to literally build 3 million more new homes would have helped with the cost of the ones that are already on the market, and the energy efficient ones put into the market would have helped with those individuals who moved in. And then that would have been coupled with a federal price gouging ban, which we already have on the books in several states. This would have just given the Attorney General the opportunity to do so on the top level.
Yeah, that's your opinion,
Everything I just cited was from her policy, 82-page document, A New Way Forward for the Middle Class. I'm not speaking from a place of position, opinions.
Yeah, well, we can't really say it because it didn't happen, and that's what we didn't want,
Well, I'm sorry, you did not want policies that helped American people? Where the Republic was, so did the Republican Party not complain about the cost of housing over the course of 4 years of Biden? You don't want lower housing?
What do you mean lower housing? There's housing here, man. It's just people can't afford it.
That you don't want more affordable housing? Excuse me, correction.
Yeah, what's that gonna come? How's that gonna work? Affordable housing. Who pays the rest? Affordable housing. Taxpayers pays the rest.
I just explained to you.
Yeah, and I'm telling you what it is. Who's paying the rest? The taxpayers are gonna pay for it.
No.
Taxpayers are gonna pay for it, my buddy.
My God, how would we have paid for the tax breaks and incentives she would have given the private sector for building 3 million new homes? 1.2 million specifically would have been rental housing units. The average American pays 30% of their overall income into rent every single month. That's a substantial amount of money.
Okay, you said affordable housing. Who's going to pay the rent? Who's going to pay the rest of the money, man?
Affordable housing isn't some welfare housing. Affordable housing is housing that's more affordable, closer aligns with the average median household. What they can afford, what they can pay, not subsidized housing. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, we don't know if she was going to do that or not, man. Just because you say it doesn't mean she was going to do it.
Okay, so by that logic, then you would have had the same complaints about Donald Trump. I'm comparing campaign promise to campaign promise, and I'm also comparing the practicality of what Kamala Harris intended to do versus Donald Trump saying, I will lower the cost of homes by getting rid of illegal immigrants. That's not how that works.
Yeah, I guess you're right, buddy.
Do you recall when you came up initially and you had a very different energy versus the one you're displaying right now?
Oh, no, it's I'm just trying to get out of work. That's what it is.
You're just trying to get out of work?
Yeah. I just saw your little prompt, so it's like, oh, shit.
Mm-hmm. How has Donald Trump made your life better since taking the oath of office?
Oh, the borders are shut down. He gave me my little tax break. All of my people, they got the small businesses running and going. Nice write-offs. So they're good.
Write-offs in those small businesses. Write-offs in those small businesses that Kamala Harris would have more so strengthened for the lower and middle class under her tax plan. The other ones or provisions put forward under the Tax Cuts and Job Act would have been kept the same, like doubling the standard deduction. She would have actually multiplied the business tax credit for first-time business owners by 10 times from $5,000 to $50,000. And then you would not have to pay that back until your business actually turns a profit, which have really helped the first couple of years. You know the numbers. It takes an average of 10 years initially to actually see some real profit in the business on average. That is something that would have really supported those people through trying times. In regards to the border being shut down, yes, we have lower encounters. Encounters was not an indicator of people slipping through the cracks of the United States. And then with ICE agents running around doing what they're doing internally, specifically to American civilians, because the Supreme Court said you can racially profile and discriminate, then I don't necessarily think that's worth lower encounters, especially considering undocumented migrants were never a threat to your wallet or anything else. I don't see how any of those things that you mentioned would be showing any type of fiscal prosperity in your wallet since.
Well, I'm doing okay for me. My bills are paid. My family's good. I'm working.
Again,
I got no problems, man.
Those factors is you as American just doing what Americans have always done, regardless of administration. I specifically ask you how the president of the United States has impacted those things.
Impacted? He left it the way it is, man. I'm good.
He left it the way it is?
Well, like it did. Like I said,
I don't see how he left it the way he is. Considering
what do you mean, like when he did something good for me, or what, personally? Or?
Yeah, how his policies would have been benefiting you compared to Harris's specifically, especially when we talk about the factors that are negatively impacting you. Last I checked, you drive every day, don't you?
Yeah.
Gas prices are up. And while the Trump administration is touting around that they now maybe $1, they were almost up $2, the highest that we've saw since November of 2022.
Who was in office in 22?
Joe Biden. The difference was Joe Biden didn't do anything to bring up those prices.
No, he didn't do anything. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do anything.
He did several things. We were actually able to get the gas prices down under Joe Biden because of the war in Ukraine, which Donald Trump supports the guy who invaded them, Vladimir Putin. When Joe Biden was able to strategically sell off some of our oil from the reserves and then buy it back at a lower prices, we actually made money off of that, and we were able to bring down the costs. He also unleashed even more drilling. He literally drilled more than Donald Trump did in his first term, which also helped offset the costs. We can talk about the OPEC deal that Donald Trump signed in his first term, which was ending around that time, which helped bring back the prices to a reasonable amount. Joe Biden did an exceptional job in that regard versus Donald Trump, who quite literally started a big fat war in Iran, which shot up the price of a barrel to the highest we saw in, was it last month or the month before, $126, $127 a barrel.
Yeah. What is it now?
Now it's $67 to $69.
What a difference, huh?
They were able to get it down because of this ceasefire that we still haven't even seen come to fruition through the MOU. Also complimenting the president of the United States for bringing barrel prices, which he didn't do anything, but barrel prices of oil going back down to a higher amount than what they were before they started the war isn't a flex.
They didn't say a flex.
Yeah, but you said what they are now. That doesn't offset the fact that we didn't have to be in a war with Iran to begin with, and that Americans still paid the price of those increases.
Well, why would they have to go the one with them? Because they didn't want to pay attention. You want to keep fucking enriching uranium and all that crap. Then hey, somebody got
Iran
to put a stop to that.
has a right to enrich their uranium, especially when Donald Trump pulled us out of the deal that said that they couldn't go above 3.67%.
And what percent they were? 62. They were on 62, weren't they?
Did you miss the part where I said he pulled us out of the deal that stopped them
because it was
from
weak.
not enriching over that amount? What was weak about the deal?
Because it was weak. All right, there's too much loose ends, man. Because they
What
were
was
talking
weak
about,
about the
oh, you
deal?
can't get it, but you could buy it. You know,
What?
you can't make it, but you could purchase it. You know, it's a lot of little word salad that they trying to fuck around with.
However they got it is irrelevant. It's about how much it was enriched. That was the concern.
Well, I don't know. I don't see why they need 63%. You know, because 3% is good enough. What were they gonna do with that?
We literally use enriched uranium up to 20% for like medical equipment and some nuclear reactors for energy.
Exactly.
Iran has every right to do the exact same thing that the United States and other nations are doing. They've only ever used their enriched uranium for civilian purposes.
So far. But that's over though. That's over. They done. They finished.
They're not, and you can't say so far because then you have to ask yourself why from 2021 to 2025 when they had 60% enriched uranium did they not finish the process and blow the hell out of the United States?
Good question. What were they scared of? What were they waiting for?
I don't know why they'd be scared of anyone. You guys thought Joe Biden was a
waiting
weak
for the
president,
elections.
right?
Yeah, they were waiting who's going to be president, Trump or Biden. That's what they were waiting for.
Their beef with the United States supersedes party. If Joe Biden was a weak president and they had the ability to nuke us at the time and they had the intent to nuke us at the time, they would have, but they didn't. In fact, after Donald Trump pulled us out of the JCPOA, they still complied for a few months afterwards.
Yeah, because the inspectors were going there. They want the inspectors on top of it, the IEAE.
The inspectors...
You don't even know what the hell. Yeah, I know. It's too much
I
for
know
you.
what the IAEA is, my guy. You're just not comprehending the words that are coming out of my mouth. They literally reduced their compliance with the IAEA even further so after that. They stopped letting them in their facilities altogether because they had no contractual obligation to do so because Donald Trump pulled us out of the deal. The 60% enriched uranium amounts that we saw the year afterwards and then in 2021 was directly due to the actions of the Trump administration. This was not a problem under Democrats.
All right, if you say so.
If I say so. I think I know so.
All right, yeah, all right.
Doesn't sound like you really have any valid reason to continue supporting Trump.
No, it's just like I said, I wasn't voting for Kamala. I wasn't voting for a Democrat.
Yeah,
Man. Come on.
And you did not know what Kamala Harris's policies were. I went over one of them with you, and it went over your head.
No, because like I said, all she did was talk word salad, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Word salad.
Yeah, I think you should look at the videos, man. You know?
Childcare is childcare. Who said that? Do you not know?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah. Childcare is childcare. Who said that?
Childcare is childcare. Who said that?
Donald Trump, when he was asked a question about how he's going to reduce the cost of childcare, which is averaging over $2,000 a month for families, he said childcare is childcare and tariffs.
You got to get rid of childcare.
Windmills are killing whales and birds on mass levels like you've never seen before. Who said that?
All right. Yeah, some fucking liberal shit.
That was Donald Trump.
Yeah?
Donald Trump suggested nuking hurricanes to stop them when they was asked about the climate crisis.
Yeah, because he likes to troll you liberals. That's why.
Oh, got you. So you're perfectly fine with the President of the United States upon being asked serious questions on how things that affect the American people, concerns of the American people, and what he was going to do about it. You're perfectly fine with him answering with trolling as you're sitting here complaining about word salads. You know what I've realized, guys? Actually, hold on. You know what I've realized? Every time Trump supporters say word salad when it comes to Kamala Harris, it's not actually in regards to her genuine slip-ups. Because let's be real. She's a human being. She absolutely had some. She's admitted herself she wasn't the best public speaker. But it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact that everything that you guys consider a word salad is a level of intelligence and explanations that you don't comprehend.
Yeah.
Would you say the things that I've told you in the last few minutes have been a word salad?
No, you're just talking. I'm just hearing what you're saying.
So you don't think anything I just said was a word salad?
No, you're just speaking
Okay.
like what you
So
said.
I
Like,
quite literally explained Kamala Harris's policies to the same degree that she did, not only on the campaign trail, but in her 82-page document, A New Way Forward for the Middle Class. And then I went as far as to talk about even things that she criticized about the Trump administration and how his policies would negatively impact the economy. I said everything that Kamala Harris would have said, just in a Hector fashion. And you didn't call it a word salad, but Kamala Harris only had word salads.
Yeah, you didn't hear what she's saying?
Give me a word
The
salad.
videos, you don't hear what she says? Bunch of gibberish, man.
Again, that's because you can't comprehend the message.
Yeah, I guess.
I literally explained to you the
go back to school,
JCPOA versus the MOU, where I talked about Kamala Harris's housing plan was infinitely better than Donald Trump's lack of a plan. I talked about all the things that he's doing to destroy our foreign affairs, the instigation with Iran, how that's negatively impacting you, gas prices, Biden, so on and so forth. And then you responded with, yeah, well, that's your opinion. You didn't comprehend half the shit that came out of my mouth, really and truly.
Well, that's your opinion, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? You know, you can't make everybody happy.
It's not about making people happy. It's about having a basic level of intelligence to comprehend what benefits the overwhelming amount of Americans in the United States. And it doesn't seem like you guys have that capacity. Thank you so much, Queen Sniper, for the floating octopus. W's in the chat to you. I appreciate you. Guys, continue to double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up to 50K and beyond. Show the algorithm want to be here. I don't think you have the intellectual bandwidth to engage in this conversation, but I appreciate you wasting my time. Arthur, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, sir.
And do you regret your vote?
No, not at all.
Not at all. I think you should.
Nope.
I think.
Well, I know. Well, see, this is the thing. As a Republican, I'm not really going to agree with most of what you say. And as a Democrat, you're not going to agree with anything I say. And Democrats always talk over.
Thank you,
any
Dragon, for the
point
gamer
that I
cat.
may have.
Okay.
So, but long short, you talk about the agreement they had with Obama and Iran, right? Mm-hmm. Now, you think that was a good deal? It was Absolutely. A good plan. It was a good. Okay. So, how important was it?
How important was it?
How important was that deal? How important was that? I'm hands-free, but I'm gonna pull over to talk to you. So, how important was that deal with Iran?
I would say it was very important. The United States was touting around that Iran was a monumental threat, or their nuclear capacity was a monumental threat, and we wanted to mitigate tensions with the region. So I would say it had a large amount of significance.
Okay, so when Obama made this deal with Iran that was so important and it was so good...
Is he breaking up for anyone else? Is he breaking up for anyone else? Yes, he is. Okay, I thought it was just me. You're breaking up. You're not in a place with good service.
All right, is this better?
Yes.
Is this better?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, so who was the vice president? Who was the vice president at the time of this awesome deal?
Joe Biden.
Okay, so after Donald Trump in 2016 killed this deal with Iran, this awesome deal, right? Who was the next president after Donald Trump?
2018.
Who was the next president after Donald Trump?
Joe Biden.
Okay, but whenever he did it, who was the president after Trump? Who was president after Trump? Okay, so if this awesome deal that the predecessor of Joe Biden and Donald Trump, Obama, okay, and since Biden was the president after Trump, if this was such a great deal, why didn't he reenact it? It was so great. Why didn't he redo it? He gave them plenty of money.
They tried to.
Okay, that's BS.
Also, he didn't give them money.
Yes, he did.
Joe Biden
and Obama
didn't give Iran money.
Where
did Joe Biden give Iran money?
Okay, again, I'd have to go back. I apologize. I do not have that in front of me, but
sure.
It's
so long as you don't deny the answer that I'm Googling right now, we're good.
Okay, no, well, you can Google it. That's great. That's what I do. I Google things. But see, all the other Dean and Johnny, all those guys. Oh, you can't trust
We lifted
Google.
some sanctions for a prisoner exchange. We did not give them money. This was in 2023.
Okay. I do remember that. So
there was also some waivers
apologize.
for their electricity specifically.
Waivers for their electricity.
Yes, we had sanctions
Whose
that killed their
electricity?
infrastructure in the region.
Right. Okay, so basically, you kind of like it's. You might not call it cash, but it's good enough. You know, it's the same thing.
Well, it's no different from what Donald Trump is saying right now when people are criticizing money that we be giving them, which it's not. This is a $300 billion investment fund. He literally said
Okay.
we're unfreezing their
you already got
own
that.
money. We're lifting sanctions on their own money. It's the same thing.
But we're not. He's not giving them $300 billion. You're wrong in that.
I didn't say he was.
The Arab nations.
You didn't.
Oh, I thought
hear
you
it.
said that. I thought you said.
I said people were
missed
wrong
it.
in giving. We are facilitating a $300 billion investment fund for the reconstruction of Iran, which I still have criticism
But
of.
that's not our money at all.
No, he says we're not going to
Again,
put a
that's
single
not our
dime
money
into
at
it.
all.
Yeah.
Right. That's going to be. Well, it's no. Did Obama give them millions of dollars?
No.
No, he didn't fly cash to Iran.
1.7 billion. That was a part of a failed arms deal in '79, which a international court determined that we were responsible for paying. And I believe the majority of that was interest. It was 400 million, and the 1.3 billion that we paid was solely 47 or 40 something years worth of interest.
Right.
That was also their money
And
too.
I wouldn't get. Do you really think Iran deserved the interest on that money?
I think we were just honoring a deal, deserving of
deal?
interest for a deal that we broke. Yeah, you can
Okay,
feel how you
so
want to
let me
feel
ask you
about
a
the
question.
region, but
Okay, wait a minute. Whoa. You're going to talk about broken deals. Do you know anything about a treaty that we had in 1991? Underbuilt.
which one are you referencing, and what is the relevance of that to this conversation?
Ukraine and Russia?
Are you talking about the 94, what you call it, Budapest Memorandum?
No. In 1990, we had signed an agreement with Ronald Reagan and Gorbachev.
94.
And then in 91, Bill Clinton went over and signed it, and it became the deal. Any country that Russia released from when they got rid of the Iron Curtain and broke down the wall, do you know what I'm talking about? This is probably before your time. You don't even look like you're 25, so.
I'm aspirationally 44. What is the relevance of this to
Well, hell,
the point
you're
here?
pretty good then. Well, I'm just going backwards in all these things. You know, all these things they keep. I don't know. It's kind of backwards. Like I said, we can go back and forth and who did what, who did. You know, do you think Donald Trump's wasted $14 million on that pool?
Yeah. Do you not?
Okay, so, well, let me ask you a question. Did anybody complain about the $34 million that Obama did?
Hold on.
Did anybody complain about $34 million?
Before we
for the
do
same thing?
No, it wasn't for the same thing. Before we do the what about Obama? Obama did.
No. Let's go backwards.
Obama
Because
did significantly
this is the
more
same-
for the pool, my guy. Obama did significantly more for the pool. Yes, some of the
did.
algae
He
come
did.
back and they cleaned it year after year after year.
Right,
But it
right.
did not
Year after
ever
year after
look
year.
as what it currently looks right now. What Donald Trump did was 14.8, 14.7, 14.8 million for a paint job that he himself ruined when they dumped a bunch of hydrogen peroxide in there, which is a natural a paint peeler at a certain percentage. And then he blamed the left for it.
Wait, hang on. Slow down. I am a DuPont automotive refinish expert technician in paint. Hydrogen peroxide does not hurt paint. That was rubberized paint. It was made for water, and it would not be affected by hydrogen peroxide. Sorry, that's wrong.
Bro, it
You can Google
literally
that.
does.
Google it.
Okay,
Google
I
it.
will Google it. Since we're just
Good.
Googling everything, and you remember you said earlier, when I Google the
That's right.
information presented to you, you wouldn't deny it. That's what you said, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, man. Yes, high concentration hydrogen peroxide, typically 12% or higher, I literally said 10 to 12%, is a strong oxidizer that can strip paint. It attacks the polymer chains in paint and protective coatings, causing the paint to bubble, peel, and lose adhesion with the underlying surface. What did you say you've been doing for a couple years? Don't teacup now. R.I.P. to the ducks, though. Seriously, moment of silence. Moment of silence for the ducks. Moment of silence for the ducks. I want to do a 30 seconds while he's teacup. We're going to do a 30 seconds moment of silence for the ducks, okay? Where's my clock? Moment of silence for the ducks starts now. I should play some music. Hold on. We're going to do some music for the ducks. Actually, I was going to copyright me. We're just going to hum, all right? Moment of silence.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Sorry, time just ran out.
I apologize.
R.I.P. to the ducks.
You are right. I apologize. You are right.
Did you just double check me?
In high concentrations, but now here's the question. Did Donald Trump dump the hydrogen peroxide in, or did the company that did the paint job do it? Who's responsible
the company,
for ruining the paint?
He did a no-bid contract to do the job.
Okay.
The one who put in the choppy job to begin with was then hired to fix it and make it worse because he decided not to consult with any of the environmentalists or the other individuals who were responsible for the maintenance of the pool.
Are they fixing it under warranty?
I don't know if it was under warranty. Actually, no. I would say no because we just allocated additional 1.7. No, I do know. We just allocated another $1.7 million to have it repaired. So no, we're cleaning out we're changing the thingamajiggy, the water system.
Again, that I have not heard either.
Sure, I got that for you. Give me a second.
So again, under the same thing that we're going back forth with, you don't think the $34 million job should have lasted?
Same company, Green Water Solutions LLC by J.J. Kafal, one of his donors. We just gave $1.7 million more, and this is going to get the new nano bubble water purification system in there.
Which me personally, I said that today. I said that I was talking to somebody else. They should have put some kind of sprinkler system, like a not a water like a sprinkler system to do the water to keep the because they do that here. I'm from Connecticut, but in South Carolina, these ponds they have, they put these fountains. That's what they are, fountains. They put fountains in to keep the algae down, which should have been done. But then, if you think about that, but then it's not a reflecting pond because it doesn't reflect. You get automatic ripples in the water, so it's kind of defeating itself. But that would help it.
Yeah. So
but anyway,
why do you support the Trump administration gaslighting Americans? It's not only A, saying it was only going to cost $1 million, then $2 million, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then B, doing a no bid contract, which should be illegal. I have to go double check the laws on that, to one of his friends and donors to do the job, literally named Greenwater. Then they butchered it. Then they butchered it in their attempt. Not finished. And then to fix it. They made it even worse, and they're so desperate to gaslight American people from their monumental failures that they blamed vandalism. Did you know that there is a 24/7 video cam footage on the reflecting pool from the Washington Monument?
Okay, I don't know. I have not heard.
Do you want to see it?
I heard different things, and I don't know.
I have the link.
I don't think it.
I can put the camera up for you right now.
I'm telling you, I don't think there was vandalism.
So why would he lie and say that it was?
Because why the Democrats? Why does? Okay, let me ask you a
No,
stupid
no,
question.
this isn't a what about Biden. This isn't a what about Democrats. This is about why the president of the United States can't take responsibility for his failures.
Why would anybody lie? Why would the Democrats lie about Biden being not sane, not able to do his job?
Biden literally has had several events across the country last year and even in the last few months where he's talking to people. He's had the same stutter that he's had for several decades. He's clearly old and not in the best shape, but he is competent. He functions. They never lied about his function. Ever. Bullshit. He doesn't have mental decline. He has stage 4 prostate cancer.
Oh, stop.
I really need you to address the fact that the Trump administration is now lying to cover their asses. Hold on. You can't give me an example. What was it, a year or two? 2, 3, maybe?
A year or
two maximum.
A year or two.
So hold on. Donald Trump's lies is literally persecuting Americans. I do need you to understand that. There are Americans who are currently sitting in a jail cell right now because he arrested them for vandalization, including one of them was Olympic guy? I forgot the name of him, what his name was, just because there was a piece of the paint that was pouring off and he picked it up and was looking at it. They said he was the one who tore it up. Trump administration is telling you that he put a 250, or him and other people, 250-foot long gash into the pool in the dead of night when camera footage does not show what he's saying. So while you can sit here about Democrats lying, Donald Trump is lying. It's quite literally leading to people sitting in jail cells who did nothing wrong. And I think that's disturbing.
Okay. And
350, excuse me, that's correction.
Now go back to the lady you were talking about before. What was her name? Kamala, however you want to say it.
Kamala Harris. Why are we talking about Kamala Harris, my guy? Everything I just said.
You're talking because again, you're talking about prison.
First off,
how many people did she keep in prison?
We pivoted from Iran, and then we got to a pool, and then now you're going to Kamala Harris.
Yeah, why did she keep all those people in prison?
She did.
Why did she? Yes, she didn't.
My guy. Now let's talk. You want to talk about prison? Let's talk about prison. Let's talk about the fact that the executive orders that the Biden-Harris administration passed to reduce our cooperation with for-profit prisons, the police accountability board on the federal level that will hold accountable officers who were out here beating and abusing individuals of every single race, gender, creed, that was done away with under the Trump administration. Let's talk about the fact that under the current immigration services and contracts that we've made, the federal government's made with DHS and other corporations, we are weaponizing undocumented migrants for slave labor in detainment centers. The deportation numbers Donald Trump has is awfully pathetic, but the detainment numbers are astronomical, and they're quite literally being used for labor. If you want to talk about prisons then and people being unjustly locked up, that's what the Trump administration is doing. Kamala Harris has not been relevant to our political process since she lost the election in November of 2024. She is not relevant to this conversation now. Donald Trump is the president. It's time that we start talking about what he's doing and not Democrats who lost.
He's cleaning up the mess of the last administration.
What mess has he cleaned up? What mess has he cleaned up?
All these people you're complaining about being labored in prison and all, if it wasn't for Kamala and Biden, they wouldn't be here. Whatever.
Comma, like comma in a sentence. La is in la 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 la. It's really not hard.
It comes out Kamala. I'm from I'm close to New York.
No, pronunciations isn't necessarily an accent thing. Kamala. If you can literally say comma and you can say la, you can say Kamala.
Okay, it's a comma. It goes right next to the letter. Comma, right next to the letter. It's a little squiggle line.
Bro. Comma. Do you know what a period is? Do you know what a period is? Do you know what a period is?
Yeah, it's something she doesn't have.
Can you say period?
Period.
Can you say exclamation mark?
No. I say question mark.
No. Bro, don't play me. Can you please say exclamation? God, you're fucking me up now. Can you say exclamation mark?
It's just okay. All right. Listen, Kamala.
What do you know? Look at that.
Okay,
Look at that. That
Kamala.
wasn't so hard.
And does anybody give a flying shit if it's Kamala or Kamala?
I do.
My name is Arthur.
And I will I'll never call you Arthur. I will never do that. I'm just gonna call you Arthur because that's how you say your name. W's in the chat. W's in the chat to Mark for the $5 Venmo. Reenact is not the correct word for an agreement. Why would Iran ever trust? Hey, hold on, sir. Hold on. Hold on.
All right.
Reenact is not the correct word. Thank you. Appreciate that. They support my platform. Thank you. Reenact is not the correct word for an agreement. Why would Iran ever trust us again after tearing up the first deal? Yes, Joe Biden literally tried to improve those relations. In part, that's why we lifted certain sanctions on key things. W's in the chat to you, Mark. W's in the chat to Amanda for the $2 Venmo. The guest is nothing but just a messenger here. What? Underwhelming. Hold on. All while thinking he's going to quote unquote get you. I just know he's a smart one in his friend group too. Laughing emoji. Also, what matters here is that he's advocating for a pedo and a gracefist. Love you, friend. W's in the chat to you, Amanda. Sir, I'm not done. W's in the chat to Sean for the 5. Well, that's just fucking rude. You hear me reading donos. Why would you interrupt me talking to yourself while I'm reading the people who are supporting my platform?
Because we're having a conversation.
That's rude.
And
that's rude. Can you not be rude?
That's rude.
It's rude of me to thank the people who support my. So, would you rather me just take people's money and not thank them after I asked you for a moment to thank the people who support me?
Steal their money like that. These people are dumb enough to pay.
One of my mods got tired of you. W's in the chat to Sean for the $5 super chat. At least when we lied when we were teenagers, it had a function. These lies are adults who don't know caca. They lie to lie, for fuck's sake. W's in the chat to you. That is correct. Appreciate your support. Anyone else wants to support the platform, please feel free to hit up the links in the bio. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Hector Talks with 2 R's and Cash App and Venmo. PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the Tube side, you can send a super chat or a super sticker or become a member. The links are also in the description of the live stream. Keep double tapping the screen. Those of you over here on the YouTube side, we're about TikTok side, we're about 18 minutes away from the hour mark, and we're not even over 50,000 likes. Can we get the likes going, please? Show the algorithm want to be here, and you guys know the rest of the things to do on the YouTube side, the TikTok side. Knock out the gifts. Gift gallery's already cleared. Blah blah blah. Alrighty, I'm gonna invite you to unmute, and he ran. Where's my soundboard? Give me a second.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Trump supporters request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the Tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Before we get to the next guest, I just want to point out that he opened up by saying, you're a Democrat, you're going to not agree with me on this. I'm a Republican, you're not going to agree with me on this. I don't know how we can't agree on safety for the United States, equitable tax reform, border security, healthcare expansion, low cost, affordable homes. These are all American-centered things that the majority of Americans agree on, regardless of party and affiliation. So when you open up conversations trying to find a disagreement or using these labels to separate human beings, that's one of the issues that we have here in the United States. We keep looking at everything from a political lens. And the most hysterical thing about that line is that Donald Trump quite literally ran off of, in some ways, socialist policies. The United States having 10% stock in, NVIDIA. The plan to, he's long abandoned it now because he never cared about women. The plan to have the government pay for IVF to help women have more babies. Did away with that. The investment accounts that we have in the United States from 0 to 18 for every child born after 2026. These would all be socialist leaning policies. But he just didn't name it that and everyone ran with it because it was a good thing. We got to stop doing all this label stuff, bro. It's not good. Weird thoughts. Did you vote for Trump?
Yep.
Do you regret your vote?
Fuck no.
Fuck no. I think you should. And one of the reasons I think you should regret your vote is because the Trump administration is quite literally holding up a plan to put forward more affordable homes that was passed bipartisanly in Congress. After running off of affordability and lowering prices, he is holding up progress in that department when Republicans and Democrats finally decide to agree on doing something for Americans.
So is that the ones that Fannie Mae got up during the Wall Street bailout under Bush Jr. and then under Joe Biden that you guys, crippled the housing market, sent everything into foreclosure by like
the 21st Century
increase.
Road to Housing Act has nothing to do with anything
China,
that
the
you're
government,
talking about.
Wall Street. wealthy brokerage firms got to buy
Everything
them up
that
at a
you're
discount
saying right now is completely
and then give them back
irrelevant
to us
to the
at a raised
21st
cost.
century road to Housing Act. What?
No, I literally saw all those dipshits just go with that stupid little monument that he has in Chicago. They all sat together because they're laughing at you. They rob your houses and they sell them back to you to increase costs, especially in Democrat states.
What does that have to do with the 21st century road to Housing Act that the President of the United States said he would not sign? Do you know what's in the bill?
Fine.
Do you know what's in that bill?
Housing's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm glad. I love it when you guys respond with, well, I'm fine, so I don't care how Trump fucks over other people. Very good. Nice patriotism of you. Do you know what's in the bill?
Well, you guys can't even have sex without
Do you know what's in the
It's
bill?
like you care about somebody.
Nice pivot. Do you know what's in the bill?
No, it's comparative analysis. It's not a pivot.
Yeah, it literally is. Do you know what's in the bill?
You're like judging me for ethics and
Fan club members, put those
can't
pivot
work
patriot
out.
stickers in the chat. Put those pivot patriot stickers in the chat. Y'all just can't stay on one damn point. He's like, oops, he has a gotcha, I guess. Let me go ahead and bring
No,
up
I
something
literally rebutted
completely
your stupid ass
irrelevant
point.
to the conversation. You literally did not. You haven't addressed the
Look
bill
at you over
once.
talking. You seem insecure. Read your script faster. Read your script faster.
What did you say? Oh, okay, cute. What did you say to address my point? What did you say? You didn't pivot, right? What did you say to address the 21st century World Housing Act? What did you say?
Yeah, are you bragging about the fact that, under C-19 Democratic policies, foreclosure went up 13%?
So nothing.
No, they're going to sell your shit back at a
You're
raised
not
cost.
responding to what I said, and then you're
let's
saying
clap
that you're
for the
not
government that
pivoting.
bought our homes.
Oh my goodness, dude.
I know you got McDonald's fry bag mentality and IQ. It's hard to understand how the economy
Yeah, I don't know
works.
what any of that
Housing markets
means,
and
nor
shit.
does it have anything to do with the bill that Donald Trump is holding up. That's a very nice try.
Oh, I don't give a shit about housing for you idiots. Y'all can go broke and sleep on the streets like California. Shit everywhere.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah,
housing
vote for
isn't for just Democrats. I don't know if you know this, but here in the United States, we have people with all
No,
sorts
Republicans
of
are fine
party
for the majority.
affiliations. So it doesn't, I don't know why you're talking about that. Specifically in this bill,
Because we're fine.
there was a provision to allocate more funding to rural areas in red states, because those are the ones that are not going to be able to benefit from some of the programs that would have predominantly centered around cities. And the majority of cities in the United States are blue. So it looks out for those poor red states as well. Crazy. You would know this if you actually read the bill and chose to engage in this conversation. Instead, you're just trying to find some type of democratic gotcha. And it's really, really embarrassing. Why is it that every single time we talk about the failures of the president of the United States, as you would have voted for them to do the complete
I didn't
opposite, you
vote
then
for it.
decide to
I don't
point
give a shit
for
about
what
it.
about Biden?
I don't give a shit about it. I didn't vote for it.
You
Wasn't
didn't
even
vote
on the
for
table
Donald
when he
Trump?
ran. No, I didn't vote for a stupid housing bill. I don't give a shit.
I didn't ask you about a housing bill. We don't
You
vote
broke
on
motherfuckers
bills.
got Section 8 everywhere in
We
your
don't
Democrat
vote
cities. You're
for
giving houses to illegal
bills.
immigrants and hotel
Sir,
rooms.
sir,
Just go
do
live
you
with them.
think you vote on bills? What district
No,
are you
the
in?
president-
What district
the
are you in?
president do-
Tell me your district.
President,
What district are you in,
president
Congressman?
doesn't- The president
What district
doesn't
are you
vote
in,
either, dumb
Congressman?
fuck.
What district are you in, Congressman? I love how I never said the president
Dude, I
votes on
got you on
bills.
the. I got you on the.
I
fucking
love
vote,
how I
boy.
never said the president votes on bills. That's crazy. What
Oh, no,
district
I
are
said
you
I
in,
voted for
Congressman?
Trump. I said I voted for Trump, and he didn't run on that deaf ass.
Oh, he did not run off of lowering the cost of homes?
Not that bill. Did he propose that bill? Yes or no? I must have missed.
Did he propose the SAVE Act?
Yo, answer the question.
Did he propose the
You look
SAVE Act?
scared.
Sure.
You look
sure.
scared.
Did he propose the SAVE Act?
Answer the question.
Did he propose the Big Beautiful Bill?
Answer the
Did
question.
he propose what's that other one? The Genius Act? Did he propose any of those bills?
Look at the.
Did he propose
projection.
any of
Pivots in
those
the
bills?
chat. Pivots in the chat, everybody.
Did he
Look at that
did he
awkward
propose
smile.
any of those bills? No, you want to talk
blow
about
your
the
head back,
president
dude.
proposing bills, right? You said, I didn't vote for that. He didn't propose that stupid bill. Does the president of the United States propose bills?
Do they propose bills? No, Congress does.
Oh, that's crazy. So it's almost as if that point you brought up was fucking irrelevant and really stupid. Cool.
I'm
We
actually
understand
informed
that the
how the three
president of the
branches work, and
United
you're a
States,
fucking idiot.
we
I get
understand
it.
that the president of the United States
we're
does
already
not
talking
propose
security.
bills. What he does do is that he encourages Congress, Democrat or Republican, the individuals on his
did
side
he
of the
run on
aisle,
that?
he encourages them to put forward
run
bills
on
and
that?
work on behalf of bills that would push forward his administration agenda. One of the agendas of the administration,
run on
literally
that
what he
bill?
ran off of lowering the cost of homes. Yes, he literally did.
Did
And
he
the
run
bill
on
was
that
put
bill?
forward.
God bless you.
Oh
That bill.
my my God. The president of the United States didn't run
why I
off
don't
of
get fucked up
any
in
bills,
elections,
really.
dude.
What bill did Donald Trump run off of? Tell me, what bill did Donald Trump run off of?
That was the point. He didn't propose the bill. I didn't vote.
I asked you, what
I know
bill
the
did
government
Donald Trump
works.
run off of? You clearly don't. What bill did he run off of?
Only legislative can create and propose bills.
My
He has
guy, no.
executive orders.
You weren't talking about what they could propose. We already established that. I asked you what bill he ran off of because you're
Move
saying that
that
he
bill
didn't run off of
opposed.
this bill, therefore it's irrelevant. That's literally the argument that you keep trying to make. So I'm asking you, what
Yeah,
bill did he
can't
run off
a bill
of?
he can't create because he's
He
not
can't
legislative,
run
you
off.
dumbass.
My guy.
He can support
The president
one, but that
of the
one wasn't
United States or
proposed.
even a presidential candidate can still run off of and campaign off of certain bills, even though you weren't the proposer,
And
because the
was
president
that
can't propose
bill
bills in
the conception
Congress.
phase.
What?
Was that bill in the conception phase when he was on his presidential campaign?
A bill doesn't have to be in your
Answer the
campaign
question,
phase
bitch.
for it to be relevant to your agenda. No
You're
bill,
fucking stupid.
no
All
bill
sorts of
was
stupid.
on his campaign or a conceptual.
Are you
got me
mad
mixing up the
Trump
words now.
didn't, like,
In his campaign
support a
phase,
bill he didn't
what
run
is the
on
point that
when
you
you
keep
voted for
trying
him?
to make? You're literally saying no bill is relevant to the president of the United States agenda if he didn't run off of it. That's what you're saying. That's stupid.
It wasn't in the
Like, you do
conceptual
understand how
phase.
fucking stupid that is, right?
Dumbass.
You do realize how stupid that
Dumbass.
is, right? That's like saying the Big
Dumbass.
Beautiful Bill is irrelevant to me. The Genius Act is irrelevant to me. The Save Act is irrelevant to me
Was he
because it
not
was
working
never
with
in the
Republicans on
conceptual
that?
phase. That doesn't make any
Was he not
sense.
working on the Republicans of that?
What?
Was he not working with Republicans on those bills? in
He was
Congress?
sponsoring them for his agenda, right?
Was he working
Those
on the
bills
bill you're
aligned with
talking
his
about?
agenda, right? The president of the
Was
United
he
States doesn't
working
work
on
on
the
bills.
bill
He's not in the legislative
now?
branch.
Oh my God, dude.
Cat got your tongue?
Oh no, I just can't. I can't talk to stupid.
Oh.
I can't dumb myself down.
I'm the stupid one. Yeah.
I don't have that low.
You've
of an
done
IQ. I
nothing
can't
but
drop that
propose
low.
all the different ways that the Trump administration proves on a daily basis that 77 million people voted for them either are grossly incompetent, moronic,
Fuck
or
yeah,
just
you guys
bigoted.
lost millions
It's the
of votes
really
between 4
embarrassing
years.
part.
Be
You're the
scared
one
and
who's
need-
literally sitting here making an argument that
need a
because
legal
he didn't
vote.
run off of a bill, that means the bill does
We're
not
losing
align
popularity.
itself with his agenda, and therefore it is irrelevant to the conversation. Last I checked, if the president of the United States runs off of bringing down the costs of something, and Republicans
He's
and
getting
Democrats
lost.
in Congress decide to work on the bill to do said thing that he ran off of, and he actively refuses to sign that bill into law, that is the president contradicting his agenda, contradicting his campaign promises. The reason why you
No, you're
refuse to
reading
acknowledge that is because you don't
Look at him reading
understand
Discord.
how shit works.
Look at him reading Discord. Look at his
Reading
eyes.
Discord, yeah, sure. I literally have 3 different monitors here because I'm streaming
I
to
know, and you're
YouTube,
looking
I have
at
Google
one
up here,
specifically,
I have
and
to
I watch
watch
your
the
eyes
chat
go
over
left to
here,
right.
I have donations to read out. That's what us content creators do.
Oh, the eyes went
That's how
back.
this
Eyes
works.
went back.
I feel like I
Are you
literally
waiting on
just
your
said I
next
have
key?
3 different
Your next
monitors.
cue?
That's wild. That's crazy. So anyways,
No, your
you're
eyes
literally
go back
up
to
here
that one
admitting that the president of
constantly.
the United States has no responsibility whatsoever to actually sign bills into law that perpetuate his agenda. So he has every right to lie about what he wants to do. When the opportunity presents itself to him to actually address the issue, he can just say, well, I never campaigned off of it, which is kind of actually similar to things like when he ran off of no new wars and then asked about it, he said, I never said no new wars. And then MSNBC, CNN, and several other platforms had to make a compilation of all the times he said he was doing away with said wars. This is embarrassing for you, bro. Say something smart.
A man can be a woman.
Good job. Trump supporters request up in the box you, the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you may call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. That was fucking embarrassing. He immediately stalled out and said, oop, doop, I can't answer, point, talking point gone, intelligence interception. Scott, did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Do you regret your vote?
No.
Why is that?
retired military and retired law enforcement, and he supports both of them.
Cool. W's in the chat to Rohit for the $7.99 super chat. MAGA builds their meter by pivoting, and then MAGA ultimate attack when cornered. What is a woman? What is a woman? Close the borders. What's that thing he's been saying? Donald Trump's been saying transgenderism for everyone. Yeah, typical talking points. It's really sad. Really sad. W's in the chat to you. Anyone else wants to support the platform, please feel free to hit up the links in the bio. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Hector Talks with 2 R's, or Hector Pal on PayPal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the Tube side, super chat, super sticker, or by membership. Back to you. You said your previous military and law enforcement, correct?
Retired from both.
Retired from both. How do you feel about Donald Trump challenging veterans' access and denying claims at a rapid rate compared to previous presidents?
I have had no issue like that.
So you would be one of the veterans who would have not been negatively impacted by those denials that I'm talking about. Congratulations. I think there's a large portion of veterans that would disagree with you, specifically when it comes to their disability rating increases.
I have 100%. You can't get any higher than that.
I'm aware of how the ratings work, 100%, which mean, yeah.
Some people, it has been terribly bad in the past, but right now I think it's better off than it ever was.
Better off by what metric?
We have more health facilities.
You actually don't. The Trump administration has cut back to some of those areas, and the staffing specifically that will process your claims.
We actually have more because we can outsource now.
You have more what?
Health access.
Yeah, this was legislation that was passed for quite some time. We can talk about under Obama, working on it from Donald Trump's first term, well into the PACT Act of Biden. This is not something that Donald Trump has necessarily done recently.
Oh, yeah. He was a big supporter of actually,
so we're Democrats. Democrats
recently
typically take care of veterans every single year. Those packages increase, whether it's your pay, whether it's healthcare expansion, different ways to tackle the VA, so on and so forth. This is well documented. Again, the Trump administration is one of the first as of late to put mass staffing cuts to those key agencies, which negatively impact rural areas and veterans in rural areas. And friendly reminder that 30% of our federal workforce are veterans. So he quite literally fired them too.
Not really.
Yes, really.
Well, actually, years ago, when you called the VA, you got the VA. Now you get an answering service. He replaced it, and you get through much quicker. And you can either stay on the line, or you can tell them they'll give you a call back when they get to your spot. And
Again,
that's what they do.
He's literally had staffing cuts and then maybe utilizing more AI to get to you, which is not better. I fucking hate those AI bots on calls. That shit is trash.
No, it's not.
And once again, the increases to access and your ability to get to the right people was substantially increased under the Biden administration through things like the PACT Act.
Biden didn't increase anything. Somebody else,
he did.
If anything was increased,
signed it into law.
Biden was in,
he supported the law. And unlike your president, when bills come to the table that benefit Americans and do the thing that the president ran off of doing, Biden signs it. Trump says no.
No. That's not true.
You can say no to everything that I'm saying, and I don't know why you're just a no guy. You're just no. Falsehoods, lies. I don't believe it because I just never heard of it before. It's not how reality works. If I tell you 2 + 2 = 4 and you say no, that doesn't change the fact that the maths.
Biden didn't sign anything. The E-pen signed most of what he signed.
The E-pen would be authorized by the president, auto pen, first of all, but the auto pen is authorized by the president of the United States. Whether it was his hand or his authorization of the auto pen, it would still be his directive and signature. Do you believe that the auto pen is some tool that anybody and everybody can just use whenever they want?
Yes. I don't
You
believe
couldn't
Joe
be
Biden.
more wrong.
I don't believe the last 2 years of Biden's presidency, he was capable of anything.
Donald Trump used the auto pen.
I have nothing against that.
Why?
But what I'm
What's the
saying
difference?
is,
No, what's the difference?
because Trump is intellectually there, Biden wasn't. Biden, the last 2 years of his presidency, he was, not there.
He
The
quite
first
literally
2
was.
years, I thought he done okay,
He quite
but the last
literally
2
was.
years, he wasn't.
Literally was. He signed several great executive orders in the end of his term, including the memorandum that he passed over the summer of 2024, which set a cap on southern border encounters and the limitations that Border Patrol agents could let people in by 2,500. He was able to do things like negotiate a groundbreaking deal with Medicaid for 60 million Americans to set the cost of insulin and inhalers to $35 a piece, and 10 other life-saving substances to be no more than $2,000 a year. He was able to continue on record-breaking student loan forgiveness to the amount of over $165 billion for millions of Americans. No,
That I'm paying for.
no. He was able to
Yes.
do several other
Tax
things that you're
dollars.
probably grossly unfamiliar with.
Tax
And he did
dollars
all
were
that
used.
with his hand or an auto pen. So it sounds like he knew exactly what the fuck he was doing in that regard.
Well, no. I'm paying for people to have went to college. I pay for my education.
You're paying for everything, my guy. You pay for your roads. You pay for healthcare. You
Yes,
pay for
I
the
do.
police. You pay for firefighters. That's how taxes work here in the United States. Our tax dollars
But I
goes
should not
towards
be
some
paying for
overall
people's
form of
education.
social welfare. That's what happens. And
I should
you'd
not
much
be-
rather our money go abroad, wouldn't you? You like it when we go bomb Iranian school children. You rather our money go towards that 30 billion? Do you
Negative.
prefer our money go there?
Negative.
Oh, negative. Well, that's what happened based off the Pentagon
Obama.
preliminary report.
Obama's the one that sent all the money to Iran.
Obama didn't send a bunch of money to Iran. Oh my fucking
Oh
god.
my goodness. It was all over the news. There's pictures, there's videos. It was everywhere.
Jump into the chat
Obama
to
is
Jay
the one-
for the $1 Venmo. It's Crow. Since I'm a veteran, would you be so kind as to pull up the report I just dropped in source? What do you got for me, Crow? If I put this up on the screen, will TikTok flag me? Let me try and crop it out, actually. Thank you guys for the follows. I appreciate you. If you're not following me, please hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday after 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. We're going to get some sources from a veteran who actually works with these individuals, because this guy just sounds like he gets all of his news from, I don't know, Fox News and a basement dweller. So let's see if we can do something else instead. Let's go over actual, factual source information. He's probably going to the hell out of me there too. Cuts, cover-ups, and chaos. Blumenthal releases report exposing harm of the Trump administration's ongoing assault on veterans. Senate Veterans Affairs Committee ranking member Richard Blumenthal today released a comprehensive report detailing the harm and impacts of the Trump administration's draconian directives and cuts on veterans. The report, Breaking the Pact, Impacts of Trump Doge and Doug Collins' Ongoing Assault on Veterans, was released ahead of the committee's oversight hearing with Department of Veterans Affairs Secretary Doug Collins next week. Blumenthal's report reveals historic staffing losses at the department, resulting in dire workforce shortages, increasing wait times for life-saving mental health care, and veterans' care and benefits being put at risk as a direct result of the Trump administration's harmful policies. The committee report, compiled from extensive reporting, first-hand accounts, and ongoing conversations with veterans and VA employees across the nation, details the administration's systemic assault on VA over the past year and the tangible impacts its cuts are having on veterans. It's quite a bit of reading here. Let's get to the specifics. The VA lost more than 40,000 employees in fiscal year 2025. 88% of those who left the department were healthcare staff, including doctors, nurses, mental health clinicians, and other frontline employees. Fiscal year 2025 also marks the first annual net loss of staff in VA history. That's diabolical. The department lost 1,000 physicians, 1,500 schedulers, and 3,000 registered nurses in fiscal year 2025. Positions already hard to recruit before the second Trump administration. That is true. We're on a Medicare shortage in all fields outside of the VA as well. The loss of physicians alone means an estimated 1.2 million veteran patients have lost their VA providers since Trump took office. Once again, that negatively impacts rural areas specifically. Clinics are canceling appointments because entire care teams or sole providers have left and cannot be replaced due to staffing caps, and clinicians rescinding their application due to increased instability and toxicity at the department. I want to. Oh, did he run?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
You guys don't like the truth. You can't handle the truth. Every time. Every time. We just got a bunch of fucking runners today. Holy shit. This incredible resource here, if you are in my Discord, we like to post all the things that we cite here that's proven in the sources channel of the Discord server. So if you would like that piece of information, join the Discord. If you're already there, it's in the sources channel, the very last article.
Call from
Marcus.
Marcus, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Hey, what's up there, sir? How are you doing?
Doing all right. How are you, good sir?
I'm great, and I'm hoping that we can have a cool dialogue without fussing and fighting and being mean to one another.
I'll tell you what. You lead the way, and I'll respond in kind. Give me a moment here so I can do a quick PSA. First and foremost, guys, let's double tap the screen, get the likes up to 150,000. Y'all know me. Your engagement fuels my energy, okay? If you want me to be a super spritey, bald, sexy man, I need you guys to engage with the engagement, okay? Do all the good things. Share out the live with your friends and family as well. Repost and add to your story. The shares should be at least at 100. They're only at 43. Get the live out to as many people as humanly possible. Send your daily heart meets if you haven't already. Upon becoming a fan club member, you get a couple cool stickers when you do, such as this one. Every single guest that's come up so far has displayed GOP behavior. So send your delay heart meets for that. We still have these little gifts. What the fuck are we doing? Can we knock out these little hearts? And I'm going to move it up to the 5-cent gift goals. Those of you over on the YouTube side, please make sure you hit the like button on the stream. Like the stream, subscribe, turn on notification bells, and if you want to support, super chat, super sticker, become a member, and of course, links in the bio on the description of the live stream in YouTube or in my bio here on TikTok is going to take you to the Discord community link. Getting yourself some merch off the merch shop at hectorshops.com with 2 R's, and donating directly to the links in the bio. Also follow me on all social media platforms at Hector Talks with 2 R's. All right, caller, did you vote for Trump?
Did I vote for him? No, I didn't vote for him, but I'm somewhat of a supporter, I would say.
You're not, so you didn't vote at all in the 2024 election?
I haven't voted since Barack Obama, but I think in that same respect, I can still be a supporter of whatever's going on. If we can't dialogue, then I understand, but no, I didn't vote for the man.
No, I encourage a conversation with non-voters, or at least people who haven't voted in some time, because I'm curious as to why, and I want to incentivize you to vote in the midterms elections come November. Why didn't you vote in the 2024 election?
Why didn't I vote? Well, like I said, I haven't voted since Barack Obama. That's because at the time, maybe I was a little warped with my dissatisfaction with American government, and maybe I was a conspiracy theorist and all that silly stuff when you're a lot younger. However, when you're picking the lesser of two evils, the older I get, I just would rather not pick any evil at all. So, yeah, Kamala was a good candidate, but at the same time, at that time, her and Trump were kind of neck and neck. Did I say her name correctly? I said Kamala, right?
Kamala, you got it now.
Okay, good. My apologies.
Wasn't
okay?
intentional.
I'm
You're
a black
fine.
man. I ain't no coon, but I want to say her name correctly. So my apologies.
Okay. You said you felt that Kamala Harris and Donald Trump were neck and neck in evil?
Yeah, hold on, my baby just fell. But look, I said Kamala and Donald Trump, when they were running at the time, they were kind of neck and neck to me, but one piece of it was nostalgia. I'm 42 years old. I remember before Donald Trump was in politics. Hold on, baby girl, please. You know what? We can't even finish this. I gotta feed my daughter. But long story short, if you remember Donald Trump from Fresh Prince, from Home Alone, then you remember even his book. Then you might remember a certain type of Donald Trump. So it's just kind of entertaining to see him.
Thank you, Shauna, for the gift.
All right,
Yeah, feel free to feed
yeah,
your daughter a call
I
back.
gotta step.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Thank you.
I feel like I asked the question twice, and I never got an answer on if he was saying that Kamala Harris and Donald Trump were at the same neck and neck of evil, in which case you couldn't be more wrong. Also, I think I know where he was going with that argument, the whole Fresh Prince Home Alone thing. I don't know if that has to do with his presidential capabilities. I especially don't want to hear the argument of black people loved him back then and now they hate him. Well, no. Yikes. Hold on. Oh.
That's exactly where that was going.
Yeah, probably. Scott ran. And then got back in the request and then he's gone again. But yeah, good old Scott had no idea how the Trump administration was negatively impacting people of his demographic just because he got his comfy 100% disability and he got his calls answered and he's good. Fuck everybody else. That selfishness is the reason why this country is falling apart. W's in the chat to Wesley Pillow for the $10 super chat. I know some people here. I know some people come here for your handsome face and shiny head, but not me. I would watch you if you look like Stephen Miller. Because you make clear, intelligent arguments, much love. That has to be one of the greatest compliments I've ever received in my entire life. That has to be one of the greatest compliments I have ever received in my entire life. He said, fuck the looks, I'm here for your intelligence. I love that. Wesley, you're one of my favorites. Wesley, you're one of my favorites. W's in the chat to you. W's in the chat to Devin for the $5 super chat. I remember Trump from the 80s quite well. He was a racist ass then. He's a racist ass now. 6,000%. Say it louder, Devin, for the ones in the back, because they don't hear you. W's in the chat to you. Guys, anyone else want to support the platform? Links in the bio. Erica is here. She'll be hanging out with us for however long. Please make sure we're taking care of her as well. Not only with the gifts, but the links in the bio. Scott, you came back.
The reason I left is you dropped the F-bomb on me.
The what bomb?
The F-bomb.
Fuck?
Yeah.
Are you uncomfortable with cussing?
No, not at all. I'm not going to be cussed at.
I didn't cuss at you. I just cuss.
No, you said fuck you. So I left.
When did I say fuck you? Did I say fuck you, guys? Did I say fuck you?
Yes, you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
What did you say right before I said fuck you?
I kept saying no and about some of your stuff, and you was like, you're a no man, all this stuff, and then you said fuck you.
I feel like I didn't say fuck you.
Yeah, you did. That's why I left. So I didn't run from you.
So if I did say fuck you, then oopsie daisies. Since I don't recall what you have said that would have warranted that, I will just apologize for this fuck you that I may have told you in the moment. I mean, you'll probably say something in a bit that may have me repeat it, but let's not go there yet. I remember reading. I was literally, I don't believe that, but whatever. I was reading from this sheet here of all the things that the Donald Trump has done, and a report that showed how he's literally been negatively impacting the VA. I don't remember having the space and time to say fuck you, but it's fine. It's totally fine.
I was gone long before that.
Would you like to
I signed out as pretty much as soon as you said it, but I continue to watch while you read the stat you put up there.
So hold on. So you left before I started reading it?
Well, I left the chat, but I stayed on the site.
Okay, bet. So that means you gave me a time frame to see when I said fuck you. Hold, please.
You put up there.
So hold on. So you left compliments I have ever received.
At Kamala.
It all in the 2024 election. Impacts its cuts are having on veterans.
It was everywhere.
Jump into the chat
Obama
to
is
Jay
the one-
for the $1 Venmo.
Goodness. It was all over the news. There's pictures. There's videos.
Right here, I was looking for it. If I put this up on the screen, will TikTok flag me? Let me try and crop it out, actually. Thank you guys for the follows. I appreciate you. If you're not following me, please hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday. Sorry, y'all. When people say I say things, I just like to be sure. Saturday after 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. We're going to get some sources from a veteran who actually works with these individuals, because this guy just sounds like he gets all of his news from, I don't know, Fox News and a basement dweller. So let's see if we can do something else instead. Let's go over actual, factual source information. He's probably going to nut the hell out of me there too. Cuts, cover-ups, and chaos. Blumenthal releases report exposing harm of the Trump administration's ongoing assault on veterans. Senate Veterans Affairs Committee ranking member Richard Blumenthal today released a comprehensive report detailing the harm and impacts of the Trump administration. At this point, you would have left. I never said fuck you.
It was well before that.
I mean, you said it was before I started reading the report. I said fuck you, and then I started reading the report. And I literally went back further before I started reading the report. And those words never went out of my mouth.
Yes, it did. But that's fine, man. It doesn't matter. It's past.
Okay. It's probably when I said Fox News. Yeah! That's what it is. You heard fuck you. I said Fox News. I probably said Fox News. I probably mispronounced it. I think that's what it is. That makes a fuck ton of sense. Thank you, chat. I said Fox News. That was the last thing I said there. And then I got into the source. You heard fuck you. I never said that.
That's fine. I'm sorry.
Can you...
I apologize.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Because I'm petty. Just give me a second. Guys, continue to tap the screen. Just give me a second here. I choose violence. Here we go. Hold on.
Really want to apologize? Are you sure? Yes, absolutely. Very well. If you want to apologize, I will accept. Ah, thank you, Mr. Jackson. Thank you. Brian, get a picture of Mr. Marsh apologizing. Ready to go, sir. Kiss it. Huh?
Not a chance.
Apologize. Kiss it. You want me to kiss your... That's right. Apologize.
Can you apologize, Scott?
No. Fox News.
Can you apologize, Scott? You lied on me, man.
No, I did not.
You lied on me, Scott. You said I said fuck you. I said Fox News.
I already told you I was sorry before you went through the whole.
Oh, I didn't hear it. I apologize. Can you apologize, Scott?
Fox News.
That's not an apology, Scott. Apology is I'm sorry.
I already did.
I didn't hear it, Scott. I can't receive the apology if I didn't hear it. Can you apologize, Scott?
You can rewind if you want.
See, that's not how that works. If you want to be genuine, I just need you to apologize, Scott.
I already did.
Scott, I didn't hear you apologize.
Listen, I
just want you to apologize, Scott.
I left pretty quick last time. I'll probably do the same.
Scott, you just defamed me in front of over 600 people. You just defamed me. That's what you did. All I'm asking for you to do is apologize. That's it. Just apologize.
Look, Liz said he apologized.
So I've already went over I already been over this with you. I didn't hear your apology. So can you just say I'm sorry?
No.
So you don't apologize.
No.
How am I supposed to receive your apology if I never heard it?
If you're too busy to listen, then you're not much of a host.
Well, there's a lot of sounds going around, Scott. I'm doing several different things here. I have a lot more to maintain compared to you, so I don't know why it's so hard for you to just apologize.
Well, it's been fun, man.
I think this is the problem with America, Scott. I think the problem with America is that people just don't apologize. Damn shame, Scott. Damn shame. Jonathan, a message for a member for 1 month. I've been here longer than a month. LO, haha. Happy Friday, everyone. As a member of the YouTube, it gives you like a free message that you can send every month. So all it's saying is that you've been a member, like the paid member for a month, but obviously you've been here much longer than that, John. I appreciate your support. Love you. Thank you so much, One Mighty Pen, also a member for a month. Yay, 1 month of Hector's wit, knowledge, and laugh. It's been great. Bot 8475 reporting for duty always. Thanks, Hector. Friendly reminder that the One Mighty Pen was my very first member. My very first member. I'll never forget that. Thank you so much for your love and support. I appreciate you. Trump supporters, request up in the box. You, the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. I do want to let you guys know going forward that if there's ever an instance where you claim that I said something that I didn't, I will require you to apologize. And if you don't, I'm just going to drop you. Nation, did you vote for Trump?
No, sir, I didn't. I just had a question because I like your I like it. I'm feeling your style here.
Appreciate it. Make it quick.
Could we step back maybe into the broader picture? How do you see our government as a whole, not Republican nor Democrat, just as an entirety serving us as the people?
Faulty.
Okay. How do you feel is the way to go about
Call from
Marcus.
Making this change?
Marcus, you're on the line. Hold for one moment. It's as simple as that.
I mean, I feel like no matter which side you pick, they both got their faults that, you know, that's the small print. You know what I mean?
So when oftentimes people talk about the government, they make it out to be some big boogeyman. Friendly reminder that there is no government without people. People make up the government, and it's a representative democracy in a constitutional republic. We vote on the people that will represent us in said government. So if we want a government to more reflect us, to do more for us, we vote on behalf of people who are actually about what they say. We look at their record, we look at their rhetoric, we look at their consistency, we look at who they lobby, who lobbies for them, so on and so forth. And the people who do not align with what we want compared to the alternative, we vote. The people who do what we want compared to the alternative, we vote for them. The people who are less harmful than the other ones, we vote for them. It's as simple as that. So we can move forward towards a government that actually does what it's intention to do, which is protect people by voting in the right people. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah.
Appreciate you coming up. LTP, did you vote for Trump? LTP, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did. I voted for Trump.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I'm laying in a hospital bed, so if I'm too loud, I'm sorry.
Are you well?
Yeah, I fell the other night when I was walking my dog. The dog chased it, and I fell and broke my right hip.
I am sorry to hear that. That is terrible.
Oh, it hurt like a bitch, let me tell you.
I bet it did. Here's to your speedy recovery, good sir.
Thank you, sir.
Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
Do you regret your vote?
Did I what?
Do you regret your vote?
Not one iota. I'd vote again tomorrow for him.
Not one iota. Really quickly, W's in the chat to Jonna for the $20 Venmo. Nice shirt. I do like this shirt. I appreciate you. I was feeling fancy today. I'm not even going anywhere. And it's Fuck MAGA Friday. How's that for swearing? I didn't say fuck MAGA. I never said fuck him. That was his words. We've already been over this.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah. So, question. As you lie there in that hospital bed, I'm curious as to who your healthcare provider is.
I'm retired military. The U.S. government's taking care of me.
Gotcha. You got some pretty good care then. Why don't you regret your vote for Trump?
Why would I regret my vote? He's doing nothing wrong as far as I'm concerned.
Nothing wrong? Don't you think walking back campaign promises
He's trying
would be
to make
wrong?
America great. There's too many people that are backstabbing him. He's doing what we hired him to do, and he's doing it. And if the rest of the people don't like it, I could care less. That's not my problem. He's doing what I voted for.
Who's backstabbing Trump?
Yeah, some of his supporters in office. backstabbing him. So I mean, going against is what he wants to do and accomplish.
Like
He
who?
can't do it if he hasn't got the support of his people.
Like who?
Any Republican, if you're Republican, you stick with your Republican, but then they vote Democrat. And Democrats are the whole main problem of society.
So you are advocating for party
I'm advocating
officials to vote alongside party lines no matter what?
Pretty much, because that's why you're in that party.
Don't you see the danger of that?
Yeah, I see the danger, and it happens every day in the Democratic Party. The danger, like I said,
couldn't
I'm not
disagree with you
a
more on
racist
that.
individual at all, but Democratic Party is the party of Jim Crow. The Democratic Party is the party of the KKK.
Go ahead, Erica.
You know, so that's why I'm for Trump. You know, I'm sorry if it upsets you, but
Actually,
that's just
I
the
never
way
got-
feel.
I-
It doesn't. No one's upset.
Go ahead,
No,
go ahead,
no
go
one's
ahead.
upset.
Because
You good?
with me
Okay.
being in the military
Well,
23 years, I
I'll
work with everybody, black,
I
white,
understand.
Hispanic, everybody.
Awesome. I know it's fantastic. It's great. Do you care about other veterans?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You said that you support Trump and you listed out reasons why you support Trump. Are you in support of Trump not signing legislation that would help veterans, specifically disabled veterans,
I'm 100%
gain access to
disabled.
home? You're 100% disabled.
Oh, second
that's
month of the
awesome.
day.
Okay, so that's actually good to hear. So, like, are you okay with Donald Trump, like, holding up legislation that would actually help disabled veterans become homeowners?
Well, if he's doing that, I have no knowledge of it, ma'am.
Well, he is doing it. It's been very, very well reported on since Wednesday. He is refusing to sign the 21st Century Road to Housing Act because he's simply asking, no, not asking, I'm sorry, that's too kind. He's demanding that the Save America Act be signed, where people would have to show proof of citizenship in order to vote.
Well, I
That's
agree,
what
I
he's
agree with
doing.
that.
I don't
I
care if you agree with
100%
that part,
with that.
sir, because that's not the point of this. That wouldn't be the point. The point of it is that there is legislation that has passed almost unanimously via the House and the Senate, all right, that would actually help veterans, because what it would do for disabled veterans is that it will no longer take in their disability income as income. It would actually help them.
And
Did you know that?
And see, they don't do that to me already, because I'm going to give me an example. When I got my rating for 100%, my house payment was over $1,000 a month. My house payment now is $580. I don't pay school tax. I don't pay property tax. I don't pay any of that because of my 100%.
That's not true.
Yes,
in
it is
regards
true.
to housing eligibility, like when you're qualifying for housing, all right, it does. For the Veteran Affairs Supportive Housing Program, they do take into account your disability income.
Okay, but
That's
see,
why
I
a lot
already-
of veterans, excuse me
I
one
already
moment, sir.
owned
It's
my
not
house.
about you. It's not about you. You said you care about veterans, right?
I do.
Oh,
But like I
okay. So
said,
if you
to
care
me-
about other
to me,
veterans,
the
all
Save
right,
Act is more
then
important.
why is it disabled veterans? Very much so. That's what we're talking about.
Right.
Okay,
But
then. So stop focusing on yourself and think about the other veterans, all right, where Donald Trump is actually holding up legislation that would make it harder for them to get into housing.
Well, all they got to do is approve the legislation for the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act is those people want all these illegals to be able to vote. Well, they don't.
What percentage of illegals, all right, have voted in the last 40 years?
Probably dead people have voted in the last 4 years.
No, what's the number? Sir, I'm sorry. This is something you seem to care a lot about. I just want a number.
Ma'am, I don't keep track with the numbers. I just watch what's going on. I just know.
That's
that
why you can't track a
there's lot of
conversation and you're lying
illegal-
about caring about other veterans. You don't
There-
care about other veterans.
Well-
You literally just have your index cards in front of you and you're flipping through them. That's it.
No, I
That's it.
don't.
You're nothing but a bunch of talking points. You're
Okay,
not
well,
going
I
to be
got
able
what
to
I wanted.
engage
That's
in
all that
any
counts
type of
then, right? According to
conversation
you.
because you don't care about anyone else, but you're not going to be able to engage in any type of conversation with Hector. I'll go back on mute,
Well, I was
but I already
talking to
guarantee
Hector,
you
not
that you
you.
won't be able to track this. You will not be able to track the conversation.
Erica is my
That's
co-host.
fine with me. Adios.
Erica is my co-host. You will address her with the same respect that you will address me.
I didn't show any disrespect.
I didn't say you did. W's in the chat to Smart Tech Man for the $2 super chat. He just said hilarious. W's in the chat to you. W's in the chat to... Why is this app glitching? Thank you guys for the follows. To Sean for the $5 super chat, did Scott say he was in the VA system? If so, he flat out lied about Cadet Bone Spurs and the Veterans Choice Act and his treatment of veterans. Yeah, people don't like to talk about that part. W's in the chat to you. W's in the chat to the One Mighty Pen for the $5 super chat. I finally got the It's Okay to Call Someone Stupid shirt. Oh, I finally got the It's Okay to Call Someone Stupid after being lost in Round Rock. Love it. Guys, I do have a piece of merchandise that says it's okay to call people stupid on my shop. HectorShops.com in 2 hours. Feel free to check it out. W's in the chat to you. W's in the chat to Taffy for the $10 super chat. 2 W's for E. That's WWE. Headlock this caller, Erica. God damn, not the headlock. W's in the chat to you, Taffy. W's to Crow for the $2 super Venmo. I apologize for summoning every old veteran by giving you that source. That shit is crazy. We got 2 back-to-back 100% disabled veterans. W's in the chat to Crow once again for the $1 Venmo. To expand on what Erica is saying in this bill, not only does it impact the VA program, but it would omit VA disability for HUD Sectional 8 voucher income. I did read that part. It would.
Yes.
Yep.
It's the Veterans Affairs Supportive Housing Program is what it is. And it'll take that out because a lot of them are actually being denied. He did.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
And a lot of them are actually denied housing because of the simple fact that they make too much money because of their disability income. So it's going to be able to help them actually get housing, cut down on homeless veterans. And Trump isn't signing it.
That is
Hi,
correct. 6,000%.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that has.
You can hold on for 1 second, please. W's in the chat to Dean for the $2 Venmo. People who demand an apology for a perceived offense who are then proven wrong and refuse to apologize have no integrity. Fuck you, Scott. That was crazy. I'm being dead serious. I'm not even trolling. I didn't even hear his apology. I actually didn't hear. If he did apologize, I don't know. I didn't hear it. I just wanted him to apologize. Anyone else wants to support the platform, please feel free to hit up the links in the bio. Also, make sure you're taking care of me just as much as you're taking care of Erica. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Hector Talks with 2 R's and Cash App and Venmo. PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. This guy's calling back. Hold on.
Call from
Marcus.
Marcus on the line. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter.
So check this.
I called earlier. Sorry, I had to change my daughter.
Yes, with the daughter. I'll technically give you priority over this Kevin guy. Kevin, if you want to debate, you can come back, or you could just go away. I don't care. Back to you, my guy. So where did we last leave off?
Been bad.
No, he didn't say anything. I'm just spicy today. Where did we last leave off at?
We left off at me talking about I'm from the 80s. I'm 42 years old, and I remember a certain Trump. I read his book, The Art of the Deal, and ever since then, I kind of had a nostalgic little point for Donnie, and that's kind of where we left off. Would you like me to continue the point, or did you have anything to jump in with?
A nostalgic point for Donnie.
Yeah, man. You live long enough to see somebody become a villain, you're going to stick around for the villain. It's like he's Fisk, he's Marlowe, he's Avon, Tony Soprano doesn't hold a candle to Donald Trump, so I'm tuned in every week. It's kind of sad, but still, I can't wait to see what, as a black man, I believe racism and bigotry only ends when we take a mirror to ourselves, and Donald Trump is doing that to some of these nationalists, these Klansmen, these racists, and these bigots, these sexists, these people who religiously persecute other people.
Are you joking?
I think he's I'm sorry?
Are you joking?
What part didn't you?
Donald Trump is a nationalist, a sexist, a xenophobe, a racist, and everything that you're talking about. I don't know what you think he's doing to those groups of people in terms of condemning them. He's embraced it. He campaigned off of it.
No, you misheard
His
me.
policies support
we're
it.
in agreement. We're in agreement. I said that you need a mirror to show you where you're going wrong, right? I think you heard me say the mirror, right?
What does
That
the
means
mirror?
looking at yourself.
What does the mirror mean if Donald Trump looks at it every day and he smiles? What does it matter if he
I'm talking
knows
about,
who he is
I'm talking
and he
about
doesn't care?
Yeah, no, let me clarify that for you. I'm talking about his supporters, his voters, those ones who are bigoted, racist, sexist,
But
religious
the
persecutors. They get to see
but the
a
thing is,
guy who is.
Marcus,
One more
but
time, sir. I'm
because
sorry, Hector.
This is Erica
no.
speaking now.
Hi. No, but the thing is that what's the purpose of holding a mirror up to them when the reflection looks just like them and they like the reflection? You know what I mean? Like when you say
It's not
holding
all
up a
like
mirror
though.
to
Yeah,
someone,
I should have.
they do like
Yeah.
it.
No, let me. And good point. Let me finish what I need to say. Donald Trump's support has gone way down, way less than 30%, right? Which means that even his supporters are realizing, yo, this guy ain't ish.
Actually, no.
He is a bigot.
So the support that went down to 30% would include all groups of people. The Republican polling still shows that he's 80% approved on by Republicans.
By the Republicans? Republicans still approve him by 80%?
Yeah, due to recent polls. Maybe
If
there's
I
one as
proved
low
you
as 70
wrong,
something.
I'm
I mean, sure.
sorry,
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But last I checked, recent polling would show nothing lower than 70% from the Republican side for most of the polls
When's
on
the last
average.
time you checked?
This was
When's the last time you
released
checked?
with the one that we got with 30%. I believe that was May.
Okay, because I'm challenging you, my friend, but it is the end of June. Times change. Fox News don't even like this fool no more. And those numbers, whatever you got, is way different from what I got. I'm not saying that I'm right, but I really think you may be wrong.
Well, I mean,
However,
sure, I can pull up the poll that I have here, and I could even look at it updated
Let's
as
do
of
it
this
so we can
month,
both
but
be
I'm,
right.
I'm curious as to where you see that Republican support has dropped down to 30%.
I was looking at his overall approval.
Yeah.
But on Fox News, they are slamming him and just talking about his approvals going down, especially amongst the Republicans.
I don't know about
It's not going
slamming,
up.
but yeah.
It's not going up.
Well, with Hector never claimed that it was going up. And the thing is that data shows here that Donald Trump is polling amongst Republicans by PRRI at least between 68 to 79%. So Hector wasn't too far off with the 80% number there. So Republicans still like him by a large majority. All right, it's
Oh, thank you
overall,
for
which
that.
includes, of course, the independents and the Democrats. All right, and even people who don't participate in the voting system. All right, who don't like Donald Trump.
Yeah,
So
I have one here. This was June the 3rd, beginning of this month. This is Marquette Law School. They showed he had declining approval, but he still overall had a strong influence. This one cites 45% specifically on the economy. But yeah, again, when you put all the polls together, overall, the Republican sentiment is he's still doing well.
I guess when you look at the numbers and you compare that to what you hear and what you read and what you see on the news, what you see in blogs or whatever, I get a kind of a different story. Hold on. Sweetie Pie, please. My daughter is 1.5 years old. She's beautiful. You should see her. She don't like Trump. Anyway, the point is this, though.
W daughter.
There is no other. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You said she don't like Trump.
Yeah,
W daughter.
She watches cartoons and anime, but when we watch the news, she immediately starts crying, especially if Trump is on TV.
Yeah, we get along just fine.
that's what he said. Okay.
I thought he said something else too. Yeah, I got it right.
Me too. Okay.
What you thought I said?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So, anywho, why are you supporting Trump? Like trying to move this forward? Why are you supporting him?
Okay, yeah.
Because you said he was a villain.
The gist of it is this: I believe that people get a better sense of where they're going wrong when their leader is doing something wrong, and then they finally realize, oh crap, this guy's causing World War III. He's causing sexism within the workplace. He's causing bigotry out there on the streets, more racism within not just the court systems and the justice systems, but just getting a goddamn job. So that's why I support it, because this will make racist whites change their minds about their
No,
bigotry?
it literally wouldn't. I host a first off, the polling we literally just went over would disagree with you. That shows, despite everything he's doing, Republicans still overall support him. Secondly, I host this platform and several other people do on a daily basis where we speak to folks. And even when we do get people that say they regret their vote for Trump, it's for Trump specifically. They don't go as far as to unpack whatever ideologies or values that they hold that cause them to lean in his direction. They just hate that Trump fucked it up. If you take the same piece of shit in a different guy and he does a slightly better job, they would support him. So, meh. They're not really unpacking their racism, their sexism, and so on and so forth. If anything, that's more so the independents and leftists.
So Hector, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm not going to interrupt.
I think what you're doing or what you're saying is extremely harmful. You're supporting a degenerate man, a degenerate president, under the guise that he would be making people look inward more, and that's not the case at all. In the slightest. And then why would we support the man who would expose, which is not really exposure, this evil, versus the Democratic candidates that would more so lead by example of what the country should be?
Well, no, I guess I don't support the man like I pray for Trump. I support what's happening in the country. People are shifting their minds and realizing that there's no need and no time for racism and bigotry. Now, you said a minute ago, you looked at these polling numbers and they reflect something different. But what you didn't say is age groups, where these people are from, if they're college educated or not, which they're probably not. So again, you know, if we can have a difference in opinion on this, I still believe that the order out of chaos will bring to a point where all that bigotry will go down a whole lot, because they see Donald Trump. He's got all these accusations. He's got felonies. He's not a good person.
I'm sorry.
So
why do you think a racist would change his mind about being racist because Donald Trump is failing the economy?
Have you ever been racist? I have. Did you ever change? Matter of fact, have you ever changed anything dramatically about your life because you finally saw that somebody was not who they really were claiming to be? Were you ever in the gang?
If Trump,
did you ever have a big homie who you found out was a POS?
If Trump and I agree that, hypothetical, y'all, if Trump and I agree that women's places in the home, they shouldn't be getting all these college degrees, that they have lesser intelligence and capability than men, how does Donald Trump failing the economy make me think, shucks, he's failing the economy, so I'm probably wrong about women? What?
Are we talking about the economy or are we talking about decency? Matter of fact, I probably misheard you.
People didn't vote for Donald Trump for decency.
There.
People didn't vote for Donald Trump for decency. That's the point. Racists aren't decent. Sexists aren't decent. Homophobes aren't decent. Xenophobes aren't necessarily decent.
Right.
They didn't vote for Donald Trump for decency. They voted for him because they thought he was going to, quote unquote, save the country. Those are the measures, the metrics that I'm measuring.
And with that said, Hector, if you found out the person who took over your company that you work for, the head board member, is a racist, bigot, sexist, y'all wouldn't do something to kind of get him out? Listen to the question, please, and I'm not trying to be rude.
If I supported the racism,
please listen to the question.
I understand the question. I understand the question. I literally understand the question, my guy. You're repeating yourself.
But you got to listen to the question clearly. I'm not trying to be rude, but you got to listen to the question. Can I ask the question, please?
Yes, I literally know what it's going to be, but go ahead.
If the new board member of your job is that type of person, are you telling me that you and the people that you work with aren't going to try to get him out of here? Think about that.
No, not if I agree with him. How long are you going to
work for a person like that?
Because I literally,
not if I agree with him. If I agree with him, I have no reason to try to get rid of him.
Okay, so if you don't agree with him, how long are you going to work with this guy?
Excuse me, sir. I think what you're not hearing, Hector, because he even said it, is that these people agree with Trump. So once again, they don't care about the man in the mirror because they like the man in the mirror. All right. Also, additionally, the polling. Please let me finish. All right, because the thing that I'm not going to do is just like repeat myself or talk in circles and whatnot. I'm actually trying to get to a point with you here. So it's information that you're able to understand. All right. So you said, what about white people? All right. White people by over
Racist white people.
21 percentage points per this RRI study, the PRRI, all right, by over 21 percentage points, support Donald Trump at a 44% clip. Then darn on Hispanic people. And then when it comes to Black people, all right, it is over 31 percentage points, is
Of
what you
what,
have to
approval?
understand. Yes, of his approval, yes. If I did my
You're
math
telling me
right,
black
all right.
people approve of Donald Trump 31%?
No, I said at 31 percentage points more. Black people approve at 15%. All
Okay,
right. And I
that
actually
part.
did the math wrong. Um, 29,
Okay.
29.
Yeah. Really quickly, I just need to make this announcement over to the YouTube side, and then I'm gonna let you finish. That I do have some donations to read here. Daddio, or excuse me, Brettbot and Jana mods, all mods on YouTube. Brettbot and Jana are the top mods on the YouTube. Literally, whatever they say goes, and it's approved by me. Anything they tell you, listen to it. I'm getting some screenshots here of stuff. Let's not do the yelling at y'all today part, okay? Thank you so much. Carry on, Erica.
Okay. So white people that participated in this poll, okay, all right, still support Donald Trump, all right, at a much higher clip than Hispanic and Latino people and then Black people. Right? You have to understand that. Okay. And again,
Matt.
all right, I sent Hector a clip of Mike Johnson speaking in regards to what Trump supporters, Republicans, all right, what people need to do in November, all right? Because the thing is that it's not making them reevaluate themselves and thinking that they have to be better people. No, they're re-strategizing, trying to figure out how they can continue to stay in power, how they can continue on with their discriminatory and oftentimes at worst blatantly racist policies. That's what's happening here. It's not making them reevaluate and say, oh, you know what, that was a little racist. The man legitimately posted a clip of the Obamas as monkeys,
As monkeys,
and
right.
nothing happened.
I mean, Michelle was very classy about it. So I think the Obamas handled it very well. And then we saw him at a basketball game where he got a lot of praise. Trump can't go to a football game without getting booed.
About
I think he's not
the
well.
handling
I know.
anything.
I just had to jump in.
Did you want me to play this clip right now?
Yes, please.
Okay, hold please.
And this dude's not going to take this conversation seriously, by the way. I'm not doing
taking
this.
it serious.
No,
I am
you're
taking
not.
it serious, sweetheart.
No, you're
I
not. Because
swear
if
to
you
God,
were
I
actually
am.
taking this serious, all right, you wouldn't sit here, all right, in front of however many hundred
No,
people
this
it
ain't
is
Cynthia G.
and
This
say
some other
that
chick on
you
YouTube.
support Donald Trump, all right, while Donald Trump is actively causing harm to the Black community. There are there are states now, all right, down south specifically, and also in the Midwest, where the Black vote has been severely diluted due to racial gerrymandering that was absolutely approved by a conservative-leaning Supreme Court that Donald Trump put into place. And you're sitting here saying that you support him.
Can I respond to that?
You can hold for a second, actually.
Do you think Black people are going to roll over and take that, young lady? I'm sorry. I'll wait.
Because in a real sense, he is. If we were to lose the midterms, heaven forbid, these Democrats, y'all, impeachment's not even the big concern. They will turn every committee of Congress into an investigative body, and they'll go after the president's family, the cabinet, his donors and friends. Half of you in this room will be targeted.
The little mango.
I run the protection program. I'll take care of you, okay? We're going to win. We're going to win the midterm, okay? All right? I'll leave you.
You hear that, Hector?
I run the protection program?
They're re-strategizing is what they're doing. And they're telling people to pretend that Donald Trump is on the ballot, because one thing that Republicans know is that when his name is in fact on the ballot, they have a better turnout. So they're telling their base, hey, you know what? Trump is on the ballot in the midterms. All right. If you like Trump and you want to keep Trump in office, you vote. You vote in the midterms. You vote for the person with
Wait,
the R beside their name.
All right, hold on. I gotta
if
read.
I
I gotta
may.
read a couple things, and then I'm gonna give you the floor to give a full response. But I'm a
Sure.
little behind on some donations here. W's in the chat to Sean. I swear to God, for the $5 super chat. Cadet Bone Spurs. CU home care cut home care for veterans by 20%. The most vulnerable veterans are affected the worst. The VA budget cuts will be uglier, 6,000%. W's in the chat to. Why does YouTube do this? Miss Donna for the $10 super chat. These bottom feeders, willfully obtuse, verbal diarrhea factory, non-critical thinking, I'm just a messenger, low IQ, right-leaning maggots are making it obvious that Republicans with brain cells are dropping off. Not enough, but they absolutely are. W's in the chat to Devin for the $5 super chat. Guess the caller forgot when Trump took out a full-page ad to condemn the falsely accused Central Park 5 of assaults and rape. He's always been racist. Yeah, he acknowledged that. That's the part that's throwing me off about this entire fucking conversation. He's not denying anything, so I'm confused. W's in the chat to Crow for the $1 Venmo. In Scott's defense, I also think fuck you when I hear Fox News. I mean, essentially, Fox Entertainment, we got to stop calling it news, is a big fuck you to Americans. So I agree with that sentiment. W's in the chat to Nat for the $4 Venmo. There's so many runners, Hector. We may as well have a whole track meet at them. Listen, I need to be a Nike running shoe sponsor and try to get some sales from these niggas who keep running from me. I am in the wrong line of work, clearly. W's in the chat to you, Nat. W's in the chat to Dean for the $1 Venmo. White people voted for Trump because he's racist, not in spite of it. Literally. W's in the chat. W's in the chat to Jay Hops for the $5 Venmo. Old disabled veteran cracker had one broken hip in the grave, using his last of raspy dying breath to say, well, I got what I wanted, so it works for me. From J Hops 21. W's in the chat to you, J Hops. W's in the chat to you. And shout out to, I would say your initials, HO, for your purchase of the Kamala Would Never crop top off of the merch shop. W's to you. I hope you enjoy it. Guys, I do sell merchandise from several different lines, including the New Testament Democrat, 6,000%. It's okay to call people stupid. And Kamala Would Never line off of the HectorShops.com with 2R shop. Erica has her own as well at ericaeffect.com, where you can get several pieces of merchandise as well. Please feel free to check that out. The link is in the description of the YouTube stream and the bio on TikTok. Okay, back to this guy. I'm sorry. I want to give you a second to respond to everything that was said before we try to ask you why you want racism to strengthen.
I do not want racism to strengthen. We're all in agreement. The thing is, I'm happy that this is happening because black people are waking up. Listen, I'll put it to you like this, and I'll be quick because I got to attend to my daughter. Imagine spending 30 years of your life trying to explain to people around you that racism exists, sexism exists, all this bigotry exists. Nobody believes you, and then Donald Trump comes on the scene. Imagine how overjoyed I am that I'm telling people, hey, redlining been a thing. This type of stuff been a thing.
This is fucking ridiculous. Sir. This is fucking ridiculous. You're making a very fucking ridiculous point. You think the issue is the belief? Because I quite literally know the same conversations we are having with white people, whoever, from way back when to now, are happening. We're explaining to them time. You're repeating yourself. You've done that quite a few times. So I don't see the point in letting you repeat yourself again and again and again. I'm not asking you a question. I am telling you something. I'm telling you that your point is fucking outlandish. You're sitting here saying that Trump is some figurehead that shows people that racism is real.
See, you're not
you literally are. You just were saying, imagine telling people for 30 years that redlining and this and that. And now here Trump's doing it, and that's going to turn people away.
Obviously, you're not.
I'm going to give you. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm going to give you 60 seconds. I'm setting my clock right fucking now.
You're still disrespecting.
I'm going to give you 60 seconds, uninterrupted, to finish the point that I interrupted you on. Okay, I'm going to give you 60 seconds, and I swear to God, if you say the same fucking shit I just said, I'm going to just your 60 seconds start now. Go ahead.
Oh my God, listen. It ain't that serious, but I'll take my time if I only got 60. To the ladies' point.
Never mind. I'll give you a minute and a half. Go ahead.
When's the last time, bro, you said you wasn't going to interrupt?
I just gave you a minute and a half. Go.
as I was saying, to the lady's point about these polls, when's the last time anybody in here took one of these polls? They don't really happen like that. So those statistics don't matter as much to a person like me. I am a supporter of black people standing up to things. And as long as we got something to stand up to, then there's a reason to be nonpartisan. Then there's a reason to be against a guy like Donald Trump. But until then, until y'all, fight back for some shit like Dr. King and Malcolm X, then we're just talking on the internet. That's all I got to say. And I'm sorry that our dialogue got off track, but I really don't think
Don't nobody give a fuck about all that. What are you doing to fight back? What do you do? What do you do?
I work for a church. We organize.
You work for a church?
We got a bunch of people who, I'm sorry.
You work for a church?
I work for a church. I can only say that much. I'm a truck driver by profession, but I work for a church.
What do you do? You work for your church. What does your church do?
It's not my church. I work for a church.
I'm sorry. Does the question change? What does your church do? What does it do for the community?
We praise the Lord. What are you talking about what my church does?
You praise the Lord? You silly ass nigga.
Can you be more specific? Can you be more specific? Because I feel as though you're trying to laser point on something that doesn't matter.
I said, what does your church do for the community? And your silly ass responds with, we praise the Lord.
We got reading programs.
That's what you
we got
did.
daycares. We also have housing. We'll fix your house. We'll fix your roof for free. We will fix your
Jesus
roof
Christ.
for free.
Does any of that fight racism?
Did you hear me just now?
Does any of that fight racism?
If you're poor, we will fix your roof if you own the house.
Does any of that change the system? Does any of that change the material conditions of people's lives? And if
Hell
so,
yeah, we got
please
a
tell
house
us
with a
how.
roof. What are you talking about? Excuse
Tell
me
us.
for getting
No,
loud,
tell us
but
how.
What? Did that
I
improve
just want
your
to know how
life?
he's
Yeah, you
fighting
don't got a
against racism.
leaking roof.
I want to know how he improving racism, because that's what he said.
Eric.
He legit said that's what we have to fight back. We got to be like Malcolm and we got to be like Martin. I want to know how
And they
this
had
man on the
programs
phone.
just like that. So did the Black Panthers. They had programs for the people. I think y'all are trying to have a gotcha moment on me. It's not
No
gonna
one
happen.
is trying to have a gotcha moment. What's
Then why are
happening
you
is
asking
what you
what my
don't seem
church
to
does?
understand, because you said, like, are you tracking your own?
What did
are
I
you
say?
Listening to yourself?
He's really not.
You
What did I
said we
say?
have to be
Because
more
I don't
like
think y'all
Malcolm
are
and we have to be
listening.
more like Martin, is what you said. So I asked you,
Right.
what do? You said, I'm a part of a church. I said, what does
Right.
your church do? What does your church do for the community? You said out of your mouth, we pray to the Lord.
Did you hear me
That's
say
what
we
you
do
said.
community
And
programs?
then,
Did you hear me say
I'm
daycare?
telling you what
No.
you said
You
out
ain't
your
gonna talk
mouth.
over this part. Did you hear
I
me
am
say
going to
we
talk
put
over this
roofs
part
on
because I
people's
heard what it
houses?
is that you
See, you're
said.
full of
Because
crap.
the
You're
whole
full of
gist
it.
of this,
I told you we put roofs on people's
not
houses.
gonna.
You're full of it.
And
You just
what
want a
I
gotcha
said
moment.
was, and
We
I
put roofs
acknowledged
on
that
people's
part, you
houses.
dumbass. I acknowledged it. And what I told you was
It
this.
took you forever to
I asked you,
acknowledge
how
it because
does
you're
that
trying to get a
change the
gotcha.
material conditions of people's lives? How does it?
Right.
How does that fight back against racism?
Because unlike redlining in certain communities where niggas wasn't even allowed to live, now we can live there with the budget that we have. Everybody else got $400,000 homes. You're the only black person with a $100,000 home. You needed to look a certain way.
What are you talking about?
Right? So that you can uphold the value of your house. Right? So that other black people can live there. Right? I'm sorry, but man, whatever trick you're trying to pull over me, I'm sorry. I really don't think you're listening, sweetheart.
How
what
many
I just
roofs
said
have you
is
done
we
so far this
improve
year?
homes. What now?
Really
How
quickly.
many roofs have you done so far
Really
this year?
quickly. These were old that
Have I done? Like
forgot
half
to
a
read them.
dozen.
Okay.
And it's not just me.
W's.
I just get on your roof with a
Got
nail
you.
gun and
Hold,
plug
please.
them in.
W's in the chat once again to make sure I'm not saying your name here. J Hops for the additional $5 Venmo. Hey guests, I think you meant to say as a member of the Mayonnaisians here. Mayonnaisians is diabolical. We're racist as ever, if not more, than in Jim Crow days. The difference is now it's acceptable to do it in public and is actually laughed at and praised by the president. Oop. W's in the chat to you. W's. all this talk about voting out the sexist CEO, and you call Eric a young lady and raise your voice at her like you're her superior, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, there is that.
Because she was talking over me, number one. And two, is she not a young lady? I don't know her. But vocally, I don't think it's ill to call a lady a young lady. I got a daughter and a wife. Guess what I call them?
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. I didn't mean nothing by it, but you may be implying something that I was not saying. The way you took it is not the way I meant it. Respectfully.
Yeah, sure. I was just reading it down. No,
Respectfully.
chill out, bro.
You can
so,
short me, but you know that
I
that's
really
the
want to
truth.
go back to when you said earlier in your explanation that
What are y'all looking
racism,
for? I thought I
that
made my
racism was something that unites us as black people to fight back against. You were implying that we would have. You did. Do you want me to play that shit back to you, bro?
I never said it.
No problem. I got you. Give me a second. Give me a second. Does any of that fight racism?
If you're poor,
I'm going to give you. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm going to give you 60 seconds. I'm setting my clock right fucking now.
You're still disrespecting
I'm
me,
going
but
to
okay.
give you 60 seconds, uninterrupted, to finish the point that I interrupted you on, okay? I'm going to give you 60 seconds. And I swear to God, if you say the same fucking shit I just said, I'm going to just your 60 seconds start now. Go ahead.
To me like a, oh my God, listen, it ain't that serious, but I'll take my time if I only got 60. To the lady's point.
Never mind. I'll give you a minute and a half. Go ahead.
When's the last time, bro, you said you wasn't going to interrupt
I just gave you a minute and a half. Go.
As I was saying, to the lady's point about these polls, when's the last time anybody in here took one of these polls? They don't really happen like that. So those statistics don't matter as much to a person like me. I am a supporter of black people standing up to things. And as long as we got something to stand up to, then there's a reason to be nonpartisan. Then there's a reason to be against a guy like Donald Trump.
You said as long as black people have something to stand up to, we have a reason to be nonpartisan and we have a reason to fight Donald Trump. You were celebrating what Donald Trump represented and the displaying of the racism, the schisms, and everything else, which is something that would unite the black community in what you just said there. You were literally saying it as a good thing. That is literally what you just did. Did you not hear what I just played back to you? Your words, bro.
No, your interpretation of my words. You use the words, it's a good thing.
That's what you were literally implying.
I'm listening. What'd you just say, son?
That's literally what you were just implying. As long as black people have something to fight against, there would be no partisanship.
You think racism is the only thing we fight against?
No shit, Sherlock. That's not the only thing, but we were literally talking about racism specifically.
May I say something? Because I do have to. I gotta drop Hector. But here's what I wanted to say, and please don't interrupt me because I really don't feel like yelling. The thing is that when you say something because you didn't participate in the voting process this last election, all right, and you also said that you do support Donald Trump because basically what you think is that he somehow, some way through his actions will put an end to racism. It's gonna somehow, some way make white people realize, oh shit, this is what it looks like. I don't want to be like that. It's BS. He's doing nothing but emboldening them so far. That's all that has happened here. Additionally, is that he is actually having him and the Republican Party, conservatism, is having a real life negative impact on the material conditions of Black people domestically here in the United States of America. What is happening is that we are seeing the maternal mortality rate increase, where even HHS is telling us that they are actually tracking it, but you can't find the information anywhere on their website or even on the CDC's website. So there's that. Additionally, another thing is we had almost 500,000 Black people lose their jobs in 2025, which caused a negative impact on the economy. Estimates at over $30 billion lost in income. So there's that part. Also, we have Donald Trump, all right, shutting down programs and defunding programs that actually do research into diseases and conditions that predominantly impact the African American community, the Black American community, whichever way you want to call us, like sickle cell research. All right, cut it. They're not doing that anymore, but we know that that is something that predominantly impacts us. All right. We also have it to where Donald Trump is actually trying to effectively defund special education. All right, where he's taking away, all right, funding for programs that actually help students, okay, that live with behavioral and physical disabilities have a, what can I say, sets a foundation, a basis for them to go out into the real world, because we all know what school actually does for children. And he's taking that away from them. All right. These are things that our grandchildren are going to have to deal with. You keep calling me young lady. You're 42. I'm 40. Okay. I just want to let you know that.
Well,
all right. We're in
apologies.
this.
I
It's
meant
okay.
nothing by
It's
it.
okay. And I'm letting you know. I'm just letting you know. We're in the same peer group.
Good.
Okay. So with that being said, this is something that.
Did you?
Hello?
Also, my mom is now calling Hector, so I am going to drop and I have to do the thing. So I'll see you later. But I want him to understand
I
that
appreciate
our
you,
material
sweetheart.
conditions
I really do.
Okay. Thank you, Katie, for the galaxy. I appreciate you guys. If you're not following Erica, please make sure you give her a follow. And thank you for sending that galaxy to her. Where did I last leave off at? Oh,
God
really
bless
quickly.
you.
Thank you, Bronca, for the Prince Panda thingy majiggy. And shout out to Mr. Anderson3369 for the 1 month ally membership message. He said, "Those who will not reason are bigots, those who cannot are fools, and those who dare not are slaves." George Gordon Byron. That's a damn good quote. It's a damn good quote. W's in the chat to you. W's in the chat for you. Thank you so much for becoming a member, or being a member for the last month. You are touting around racism as a good thing. I don't think you understand that. I'm going to try to explain to you once again why I say that. Because you're saying that the president of the United 77 million people voting for the races, voting for the sexist, voting for the xenophobes, so on and so forth, is a good thing because it makes people look in the mirror, and then these people would then choose to change. The problem with that is the sexists, the racists, the xenophobes, the homophobes, and everything else voted for him to be exactly who he is and do exactly what he did. So we're not fighting back on that end. Not to mention, it makes no sense whatsoever to vote for the thing that is causing the harm to all these groups of people versus voting for the other person who would have been an example of shutting down, shunning those things, and being more so a light to the average American, to lead by example, to lead by influence. That is the alternative, because that alternative is significantly less harmful.
I agree.
So why did you vote for Donald Trump?
I didn't vote for Donald Trump, bro. When did I ever say I
right, but
voted
you said
for
you
him?
supported him. You said you supported him.
I don't support him as a person. I support the fact that he's the president, and people are waking up to the fact that America is a corporation that's full of crap. But
you support the fact that he's the president. Why would you support a racist, sexist, xenophobic, homophobic, and everything else president?
I don't support any bigotry. I support the need to fight it. Listen. I support the need to fight it.
If you support the need to fight it, you would have never said you supported the president of the United States.
If somebody was bullying you, let's say you were a closeted homosexual, I'm not going to let them bully you. I'm going to step in. Hold up. That's my dude, Hector. Are you a bigot?
That's
and
crazy.
Now we can take it there.
You want to know how you didn't?
What's happening?
Do you want to know how you didn't?
How I didn't?
You did not show up to the polls and vote for Kamala
you?
Harris in 2024. You did not protect the person
because
who
he
would
had
have
the crime
attacked
bill.
the
He was a
homosexual.
part of that.
You did not attack the person
reasons to not
who would have
vote for Kamala.
denied and denounced racism. You did not protect the person that would have spared the immigrant who came here for a better life. You didn't protect any of those people when you sat on the couch in 2024 and threw your hands up in the air.
You think I never protected somebody from bigotry?
I literally just told you how you didn't. I didn't ask about never.
You're
I told you
talking
in
about I
your
didn't
vote,
oh my God.
you did
No.
not shut
That's
any
a
of
big
those
leap.
things down.
That's super
No,
illogical.
it's really not.
I'm sorry, friend.
It's not.
Okay, well then we're just gonna agree to disagree. But sir, you are flawed in what you think that I'm actually
What's
saying.
flawed about my logic?
We're actually in agreement, but it's all good. I wanted
you have a partner with your wife, right?
convo.
You have not a partner with your wife. You have a wife, right? That's who you have your daughter by?
Yeah.
Okay. You
I'm
voted
straight.
against her rights. You weakened her
I go
vote.
to what?
You took away her bodily autonomy, or you supported the
No,
man
I
who took
didn't.
away her bodily
Have you
autonomy,
seen the
threatened
Nat Turner
her
movie?
bodily autonomy.
Have you seen the Nat Turner movie?
What is the relevance
No.
of the Nat Turner movie in this
The
conversation?
relevance is
and your
what
vote?
I'm trying to tell you. How long are you going to take the bigotry before you fight back? How long?
My
10
guy,
years? A century?
black people have been fighting back for as long as we've been fucking enslaved and
Well, we ain't
persecuted by
fighting hard
said
enough.
bigotry. Oh,
It
and
has
do
to be a
you
different
think
type of fight,
that
man.
when you sat at home in 2024 and didn't vote for the woman who would have strengthened said community and encouraged an economy that would have given an average person the ability to be more educated, the ability to have more money in their wallet so they can take care of themselves and research, the ability to go
How
out
do
and
you
freely protest against that administration, against those bigotries and imperialism and everything else? You didn't support any of that. You literally had one of the easiest tools possible available to you to fight back against everything that you say is bad, and you didn't use it. I think it's a gross disservice for black people who are historically always limited on options compared to their white counterparts to look at their vote and completely disregard it when it's one of the most vital tools we can use to fight back against every single fucking system you said is bad.
Well, and the pushback to that is I have my dissatisfactions with Kamala. Right?
What was
I
the
didn't like
issue
that
with
crime
Kamala
bill thing.
Harris?
And
What does Kamala Harris have to
sorry?
do with the 94 crime bill?
Wasn't she a part of that?
No.
Hold on, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Hold on. I'm thinking of the wrong thing. There was something that she was a part of that sent a lot of niggas to jail. I'm thinking of the wrong thing. I might have to Google it again. But there are some things that you just don't like about people. I don't like some of the things Donald Trump did. I don't like some of the things Biden did. I don't like some of the things Kamala Harris was a part of. I just don't like it. So I'm not going to vote at all. Are you going to force me to vote?
When a black
Isn't
cop,
it my right
when a
to
black
not
cop,
vote?
when a black cop pulls you over for speeding,
which they do,
and he gives you, let's say it was reckless. So I think it was reckless or drunk that would take you straight to jail. Is that black cop anti-black?
Is a black cop anti-black for taking me to jail for drunk driving?
For
Was
breaking
I
the
actually
law.
Drunk?
For breaking the law. Is a black
Was
cop
I actually
anti-black?
breaking the law?
Is a black cop
Well, then
anti-black
it's not
for
an
arresting you
anti-black
for
thing,
breaking the
but-
law? Oh, okay, got you. Cool. So if a black cop,
there's a
if a
catalyst
black
to that
cop
because they
isn't
know that, no,
anti-black
you gotta let me
for
explain
taking
my
you to
position
jail
on
for
this
breaking
before
the
you
law
start
because he
piling
literally
on.
took that job to enforce said law, how is Kamala Harris anti-black men for laws being put in place in California, they're done away with now, and prosecuting prosecuted black men for charges related to the substance that was illegal at the time? That was her job.
I am unfamiliar, so I would have to.
That's what
take
you're
a
talking
second
about.
Look at that.
That's
But
literally what
back
you're
to
talking
your
about. You
point
said she
about
kept a bunch
the
of people in
cop
jail. She
pulling
locked up
me
a bunch of
over.
black men.
No. You said we were going to dialogue. Back to the point about the cop pulling me over. You said, is that anti-black? It is notable that during certain times of the day, black arrests and pullovers and stop and frisks are way up in the numbers than at night when you can barely see in somebody's car. So again, was it anti-black? I don't know. You got some black guys who don't like black people. Okay, they're called black Republicans. So I don't know. To that point, I don't know, Hector. I don't know. Sorry. And I have my reasons to dislike people who claim that they make collard greens in their tub. I mean, come on, bro.
Wow.
You ain't never shucked no
wow.
okra.
You want to
Get outta
sit here and talk about fighting back against racism and stuff, and you're more fucking focused about how she washed them damn greens for a collective of fucking people at a family event than what she actually did to fight back against all the goddamn bigotry and systems that you're complaining about. You're worried about greens in the tub.
the same
Greens
note,
in the
okay,
fucking
cool.
tub. Wow.
Cool.
Congratulations.
Hector,
And I really want to go back to the point that you so
okay.
grossly do not understand. If a black cop is not anti-black for locking up a black person who breaks the law, Kamala Harris is not anti-black. For prosecuting her office, because she didn't do those direct prosecutions to the degree everyone says, prosecuting black men for breaking the law. She is a prosecutor. She was a district attorney, then attorney general. That was her job, to follow the law. That didn't change the fact that she still put forward programs like the Back on Track program specifically. And the Back on Track program gave those minor low-level offenses for people who were caught with those substances to go right back into the not recovery, to return to society with a clean record so long as they finish that program successfully. And it was counseling, it was job aid, so on and so forth. They were able to go into that program and leave with nothing on the record. That's what she did despite the law. How the fuck is that anti-black?
Well, I never said it was anti-black. I was specifically talking about a cop pulling me over. However,
my guy, you brought up that you didn't like that Kamala Harris locked up black men. I added the context and clarification to that gross piece of misinformation that you said.
And then you
no, she was not. And then you mentioned her locking up black men.
Sir, if I may, because I'm actually conceding that point. You said a correction for me. I let you have that correction because I'm unresearched about that crime bill. I just know what I know.
That has nothing to do with the crime bill.
However,
that has nothing to do with the crime bill.
Exactly. Now I know. Thank you for that, Hector. That doesn't change the fact that if she were the one calling other people shithole countries, let's say that Kamala was the president, right? Let's say she was the president.
She wasn't.
If she did the things that Donald Trump has done,
she did.
As far as sexual depravity, can you let me ask a question?
I don't know what the fuck the point of this. If she was the piece of shit that Donald Trump was, then she'd be the same person that we'd be fighting against. Glad she wasn't. Right. You didn't vote for her. That's the goddamn point. You sat on your ass at the House and you chose not to vote for the person who is anti every single thing you claim to be against. That's the contradiction. That's the. I don't give a fuck where you were. You had the ability to vote. The fuck are we doing,
bro? If you have to choose between the lesser of two evils, are you still gonna pick an evil?
You have yet to substantiate what was evil about Kamala Harris.
I don't like her saying that she's so black that she made greens in her tub.
She never said, "I'm so black I made greens in the tub." She gave a story. Listen, you don't know shit. So I'm literally telling you what the fuck it actually is. How about I don't? She literally was washing greens for a family event. You're about to try and you're about to embarrass yourself. Same goddamn thing you've been doing this entire fucking time you've been on the phone line. She had a tub where she washed a bunch of greens for a family event because of the sheer amount of people there and the amount of greens that she was going to cook. What the fuck does it matter if it was a tub or the steel one outside? She cleaned the goddamn tub and did it. This is actually popular. This is actually popular in the South. She did it in public and everyone got grossed out by it. You'd think that she took a fresh shower in this shit, then threw greens in there and fed it to people? This is fucking stupid. Fucking stupid point that you're making. Oh my God, she washed greens in the tub. She can't possibly be, I guess, less evil. This is stupid. This is a stupid conversation.
Do you remember when Joe Biden said, if you vote for him, you ain't black? Wasn't that just a little bit off-putting to you? Now, when another guy says, oh, it's always these shithole countries, ain't that a little bit off-putting to you? So when a lady says she makes these greens in her tub, but she don't never talk no black politics about nothing else, that don't seem a little funny to you? Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
You're one of the most ridiculous people I've ever had a conversation with.
I thought we were going to have a real conversation.
You are quite literally one of the most ridiculous people I've had a conversation with. You should be embarrassed. Your mother should be embarrassed. Your daughter should be embarrassed. Your wife should be embarrassed. This is embarrassing. Debbie's in the chat to Shauna for the $10 Venmo. So his church is praying racism away too? Or is his church praying racism away too? I guess so. We were talking about racism. We said, I do this thing for my church. Cool. W's in the chat to Jessica for the $5 for the drop pool. W's in the chat to Miss Donna for the $2. Caller equals a verbal diarrhea factory. That part. And big W's in the chat for clearing out the drop pool goal. Catherine for the $33 Cash App on behalf of all of us. This guy is a sociopath. This man tried to compare Donald Trump and shithole countries to Joe Biden saying you're not black if you don't vote for me, even though he apologized for that, to Kamala Harris washing greens in a fucking tub. This is the problem. That is the problem with our politics. Yeah, sure. Come back up, Kevin. That is the problem with society today. They don't actually care about politics. They don't actually care about policies. It's about how she looked to me, how she talked to me, maybe a weird thing she did in her youth. Stupid little shit. You here worried about motherfucking greens. You don't seem to give a shit about how her housing policy would have directly benefited you and your family. You don't seem to give a shit about how her tax policy would have been more, equitable. You don't give a shit about how she actually sponsored border security in S4361. You don't give a shit about what she intended to do for specifically maternal mortality, which disproportionately negatively impacts black women. None of that shit matters to you because of some goddamn greens in a tub. Get the fuck out of here. Jesus Christ. Kevin, did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Do you regret your vote?
No. I think we're in a difficult position right now, but no.
I think you should regret your vote.
Okay. I mean, I disagree.
Do you remember when Donald Trump ran off of draining the swamp and then created a literal swamp in D.C.? And remember when he was so embarrassed at the fact that he's grossly incompetent and a pathological liar that he proceeded to double down on more lies by blaming Democrats and Antifa for the vandalization of said reflecting pool, even going as far as to arresting and attempting to prosecute several individuals who did not do the damage, and there's no evidence to support that claim. There are Americans sitting in jail cells right now because of a lie.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I do think there's like political theater involved with the presidency. I think you make promises to people that are somewhat impossible to keep. One promise I would point to is like no wars. I think that is very very improbable in today's modern economy. And I would point to this Iran war as an example to that.
That's the whole.
Kevin, what's the difficult position?
Hello?
What's up, BTG?
What's the difficult position, Kev? What up, Hector? I love what you just said about the Greens. What's the difficult position, Kevin?
Oh. Well, like, for example, what gives... I have to ask you this question just so we establish, like, some framework to talk about this in, but what do you believe gives the U.S. dollar value? Because it's not backed by a finite... Right, it's the trade of oil, right?
I'm sorry. Are we just trying not to... Are we dodging around everything I just said to sit here and talk about fucking oil and the petrodollar?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's I'm trying to tell you why I support Donald Trump.
Oh, got you. So fuck everything else, right? Fuck what he's doing to Americans.
Well,
fuck his persistent lies. Fuck the $41 trillion amount of national debt we're going to be in next year.
Well, if we could talk about the debt, that's exactly pertinent to my argument.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay,
so wait, Kevin, you're thinking the reason we went to Iran was to destabilize the petrodollar for America versus the 2.8 million acre resort he's building in Saudi Arabia?
No, not to destabilize it. I mean, that'd be moronic, right? That'd be like counterintuitive. I think the intention is to stabilize oil trade. So Iran is forming like a hegemony, and U.S. has a vetted interest in them not doing that. Now, Iran produces about 4% of the world's oil. However, 20% of this world's oil heads out the Strait of Hormuz. Do you agree?
Yes, and do you agree that in January of this year, the Trump family announced they're building a 2.8 million acre resort in Saudi Arabia, so they want to have their HOA neighbors be friendly right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're talking about millions of dollars. I'm talking about billions and trillions. To me, it's like negligible. But
No, I said
if you want
acres.
to
Acres.
myopically focus on
2.8
this,
million acre resort for the Trump family solely is being built in Saudi Arabia right now. It was announced January of this year, and then we went to war
yeah, I mean,
shortly after.
yeah, Saudi Arabia is like a. I think you'd agree with me that they're a very important ally for us, and especially for specifically my point of establishing legitimacy to the U.S. dollar.
Yeah, I understand that. It's just this 5D chess notion doesn't make sense. Literally, what's happening is there's a 2.8 million acre resort being built, and then now we want to have Saudi Arabia help rebuild one of their enemies with a $300 billion fund. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, if you look at the ROI, I mean, if we lose the value of the U.S. dollar, I mean, that's just like trillions of dollars we'll have to pay, and we'll lose like respect in the world too. That's like the really important part.
Yeah, but
I
not
think
the $300 billion fund is proposing that the Gulf Coast Coalition, which was made up about a week ago, and one of those countries is Saudi Arabia. You think Saudi Arabia is going to help rebuild Iran when they're enemies?
Wait, I mean, the Gulf Coast Coalition was made up weeks ago. I think the GCCs have stand in alliance since like the 1970s. So
No, there was a Freudian
I think
slip for
that's
JD Vance. He said the wrong name. He made it up. He didn't say the actual term.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying GCCs in general. Like, what do those refer to? Because those are countries that have acted in alliance for multiple decades.
Are they allies of Iran or in conflict with Iran?
They stand in opposition to Iran. I mean, what do you think we use Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait for? Like, do you think Iran has military bases there, or does the United
No,
States?
but do you think? Just think about it. If you're op, you go destroy your op's neighborhood. Are you going to go rebuild your op's neighborhood?
Well, we're talking about like, I mean, yeah, the United States has always done that.
But we're not paying for it. Remember, he said that the Gulf Coast Coalition is going to pay for it, but somehow we have nothing to do with it. When again, I remind you, there's a 2.8 million resort being built right now around the corner from Iran. And if they're sending pew-pews everywhere, would that be good for that investment for the Trump family or bad?
Well, first of all, it's bad for America more than it is bad for Trump. So I don't know why we're myopically focusing on this.
Why would that be bad for us over here when the resort's in Saudi Arabia? It has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with his family.
Because Iran and establishing a hegemony will cause other countries to stop trading in U.S. dollar, which will hurt the legitimacy of the U.S. dollar. And that would be in repercussions of trillions of dollars. I mean,
I apologize. I didn't understand the 5D chess. I'm looking at common sense.
I don't think you do. I think you just see a resort and you're like, well, Trump maybe wants to protect this thing where it's like, okay, well, what about Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain? Like, you're focused on Saudi Arabia. Like, there's all these GCCs to consider. I think to have the position you have is to like you have to acknowledge that the West is like bad, which I don't. I think
I don't think the West is bad. I'm a military veteran. I love this country, but I hate our government. I hate the greed of our government.
W's in the chat to J Hobbs for the $5 Venmo. Caller, you sir and friend to be called Erica. J Hobbs, you're killing me right now. Erica, young lady, and sweetheart side eye. I have never in my life been called young lady as a grown woman where it was not disrespectful. Yeah, Southerners say that all the time, and it just comes off a certain way, and they're never gonna fucking get it. Dubs in the chat to you, J-Ops. I appreciate your support. Anyone else want to support the platform, feel free to hit up the links in the bio. If you're over on the tube side, you hit up the link in the description of the live stream, or send a super chat, super sticker, or becoming a member. Guys, WC for getting the likes up to over 200,000. I would love for us to get up to 300,000, and we can do so in the next 32 minutes. That would be great, because I have a cutoff in about 34. I would love for us to get the likes up, so please double tap that screen and show the algorithm that you want to be here. I want to get back to this guy and the Iran hegemony, so on and so forth, and that the Donald Trump administration is restoring the U.S. dollar, and blah, 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 blah. So the dollar has been failing. It's failed substantially or dropped substantially since he took over the Oval Office. In fact, we can contribute that to some of his policies specifically. So his response to this would be doing what he did in Venezuela, trying to get their oil, trying to get more of his, I guess, paws sunken in the Middle East, hence why he's supporting Israel. But again, everyone seems to talk about his foreign policy, which has been pretty damn weak so far, and domestically it's even worse. So everything that you're saying could have been done by an infinitely more responsible, level-headed individual.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess Jesus could get reincarnated and run for president, but we're in the reality where it's like a decision is made. Like, you're saying that a more responsible person could do this job. That's your argument for me not supporting Trump. I'm like, well, I disagree.
Donald Trump is
He's
quite
rage tweeting a country, Kevin. He's rage tweeting at a country.
Yeah, it's political theater. Like,
that's not political theater. Okay, wait a minute. Let's make a more simple thing. Yesterday, the housing bill was supposed to get signed. It's already passed. It's going into law no matter what. Do you think it was political theater, or he didn't get what he wanted with not signing that bill yesterday?
it's political theater.
For what purpose?
Really?
I mean, why do you think if we wanted to annihilate Iran, we wouldn't put boots on the ground? Like,
for what purpose is
like,
it
do you
was
think
the
the
political
United
theater?
States? Because it's trying to communicate to Iran that like we're willing to keep moving up the escalation ladder.
My guy, he asked you about a housing bill. The fuck?
Yeah, well, I mean,
you said the
I don't
housing
think we're
bill and him
past-
not signing it was a political theater. Why are you talking about Iran? He literally asked you about the housing bill and the purpose of the theater that you said it was by not signing it.
Well, I don't think you guys are like really engaging in the argument I'm prompting, and this argument is, like,
first
the
off,
biggest reason why
I
support
literally brought up the damn reflecting pool, and you responded with Iran hegemony, stronger U.S. dollars. You're the one who pivoted from my point and refused to address it. You just said political theater, and then brought up your damn thing, and you're not engaging with the 21st Century Road to Housing Act as well. You seem to be hyper focused on what happens abroad at the cost of what takes place here.
Yeah, because I can turn off my news channel and just not be affected by any of this stuff. However, if the United States dollar starts failing, that directly affects my livelihood.
I'm sorry. Donald Trump's war on Iran,
to
making inflation outpace wage growth. Your dollar literally holds less value due to his inflationary tariffs and the war on Iran compared to what it was before he took the Oval Office. That doesn't impact you? You think you turn off the news and inflation goes back down? Do you think you turn off the news and your taxes get better? You think you turn off the news and the environmental regulations that he's pulled back just stay still?
No, I mean, I'm not going to argue that, but what I will argue, my counter to that, is that if Iran established this hegemony, things are much worse than what they are now.
They're not.
I mean,
and any attempts that we've had to have diplomatic relations with them, Donald Trump ruined on February 28th, despite our negotiations with them that went well 2 days prior.
Yeah, after a display of like kinetic force, right?
What?
I mean, we've only got them. We've only got them in diplomacy after a display of kinetic force.
No,
the Strait of Hormuz is closed again. They just attacked the UK ship yesterday.
12.5 million barrels just went through, and now they're shooting at ships passing through. So
there's also millions of barrels missing, Kevin. Have you seen that? There's millions of barrels missing. Our oil supply here is depleting.
Yep.
In Kansas, there's a large supply that's depleting.
We have huge amounts in reserve.
He literally cited that as the reason being for the MOU. We're running low. We've dumped bunches of it already. We've made deals with other places to give them some. Really quickly, 45 minutes ago, U.S. conducts strikes on Iran after attack on cargo ship. So, oops, looks like the MOU is being challenged once again.
Yeah, Yeah,
we're low
I mean,
on
Iran's
oil.
blasting up
We're
a
low on
Singaporean
weapons.
ship.
They literally just asked in Congress for an additional $80 billion more, primarily because of the war in Iran. We're not winning. We're not getting a deal. And when I said earlier about leading with diplomacy is what took place on February 26th. Please track this conversation. February 26th, we had talks with them. Individuals came out of the meeting, primarily Iranian officials, that said it was one of the most productive conversations that they had, with follow-ups the next week. February 28th, we blew them to hell. We led with diplomacy. Yeah. Diplomacy was going well. They decided to walk it back and then testified that they planned the shit for months. There was no reason whatsoever why we had to be in the war and run off of there being a lack of negotiation capabilities or want from Iran when they were doing so to begin with. Donald Trump jumped the gun. He led with the big stick and hammer because that's all he knows how to fucking do. Hi, Martina.
Well, I mean, in order for me to agree to that premise, like, I have to attribute a lot of good faith to Iranian politicians, which I don't. I think they are.
Hey, but you, like I said, but Donald Trump, we're gonna give a bunch of good faith to Donald Trump, who's recorded to tell the most lies out of any president. That makes a ton of sense.
Because I've been to Qatar, right?
Yeah.
So, and I don't think they deserve like the treatment that they will get from Iran. I think that fundamental Islamicism is terrible. I don't think like you can make an ethical argument for it.
I think Christian nationalism is terrible. I think electing a 34 count convicted felon is terrible. I think electing a man who's held civilly liable for sexual assault of Egypt is terrible. I think Donald Trump talking about religious freedom only for people who are Christians and then denying the religious freedom of everyone within the United States is terrible. I think Donald Trump slashing benefits for hardworking Americans who are struggling to get by is terrible. I think Donald Trump doing away with the ACA subsidies that brought up the cost of healthcare for the average American, including in red states by Trump supporters, is terrible. I think Donald Trump instigating government shutdowns under the guise of undocumented migrants being able to vote in our federal elections because he still can't accept defeat and that his back was blown out by 81 million, or excuse me, 7 to 8 more million votes, 81 million votes that Joe Biden got in 2020 in the festival. I think that is all really fucking terrible shit. And I love how you're really selective about the terrible shit that you care about, particularly when it comes to terrible shit that happens to people in the United States that you reside.
Yeah, because I don't think life in the West is as tragic as you make it to be. I think.
Yeah, I never said that we have it worse than a bunch of other people. I just said terrible things that this administration is doing. Martina, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hi, Kevin. Can you explain to me how Iran was close to hegemony? Were they the number one oil producer in the region?
No,
thank you, Shauna, for the match.
No, they're not. Okay. Could they have achieved hegemony while they were under strict sanctions?
I don't think it's fair for you to just go down
What do you
lines of
mean?
questions
Hold on,
and not engage in the ones I asked. Because you understand that they're a proxy of Russia
Kevin,
and Iran.
stop.
Right?
Kevin, your main premise here was that Iran was a threat to the US dollar because you thought it was going to achieve hegemony over, I guess, oil production in the Gulf region. They're not the number one or number two producer in the region. They're under heavy sanction. So your premise was that they were somehow a threat to the US dollar because you assume that they were close to hegemony in the region. You never made a cogent argument around that, and no international scholar nor person who works in the oil field would make that argument. So could you please explain your own logic, because your underlying premise is incorrect.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, you're arguing in a vacuum, right? Because you're ignoring the fact that Iran is a proxy of Russia and China, right? Do you agree?
Do I agree that Iran is a proxy of Russia and China? No.
Yeah. Well, curious, where do you think Iran? Where do you think Iran is buying missile material from?
Is BRICS an alliance? Yes, but you're asking about threatening the U.S. dollar, and if you're concerned about Iran being a front for Russia and China, then why would we have been? I'm still speaking. Why would we have been bailing Russia out in multiple different ways to help them in Ukraine?
I think
So I'm going to
we're
go back to explain to
Stop.
me
Hold
how
on.
Iran.
Hold on. Stop.
Explain
So
to
where do you
me.
think?
No.
Where do you think
Explain
Iran
to
is
me.
buying weapons from?
Explain to me how Iran was going to establish hegemony and was a threat to the U.S. dollar being a petrodollar.
Also, Iran produces the majority of its weapons.
Yeah, they
Kalashnikovs?
make
That's
most of their
absurd.
stuff in bunkers underground.
They make Shahed drones, but I mean
Yeah.
that's from a Russian prototype, right?
Brother,
What?
make the argument on how the country that was not the number one
Well,
oil
first of all,
producer
we
was
have
going
to
to
agree
achieve.
on some
Hold
basis
on,
of
your
facts.
argument, Kevin, your argument is that they were going to achieve oil hegemony. That was your argument. You're talking about a commodities trade. Can you explain how they were
Yeah,
going to
so-
achieve that when they were not the number one
believe
producer
me, I
in the
am
region
trying,
and
but
they
you've
were
asked
heavily
this question
sanctioned?
9 times.
Sorry?
You just keep repeating it. So you
Yeah,
gotta
because you
let me
need to
talk.
answer it.
Right. So I'm gonna ask you a line of questions the same way you just
No,
did.
you
So-
have to defend your own premise. I don't have to answer your questions. You need to defend your
Rules
premise.
for
Make an
me.
argument. Tap the screen, everybody.
Can you hear me? Sorry, I just got a call. Oh, you listening? So yes or no?
Defend.
Is
Defend
Iran,
your argument. Don't ask 1,000 questions. Just make your argument.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Russia is or
Make
excuse me, yes or no?
your
Iran is trading in
Kevin,
yuan.
make your argument.
Yes or no?
Make
Russia is
your
Oh my God!
argument.
It's really embarrassing.
Iran
It's
is
not-
trading in yuan. Now,
Kevin, if you have to have
Iran-
your argument line up perfectly, it's not a good argument. But if you got to make it line up a certain question, it's not a good
Okay, first
argument.
of all, dude, this is 3-on-1. You guys gotta let me talk, man.
Go ahead.
Iran is trading in yuan. Now, they're getting other countries to do this globally. Now, if other Sunni nations, these
Iran
GCCs
is
that
doing
I'm
it?
talking about.
Iran is
Yes.
leading it? Iran is. They're the masterminds.
Okay, if not, they're a proxy of Chinese.
What do you mean?
influence
How
in
are
the
they a
world.
proxy? What's the difference between
Dude,
a proxy and an
you
alliance?
gotta let me talk, man. This is absurd.
What do you mean?
You're asking me to defend my position and then interrupt.
Because you're.
Yeah, I'm asking you to
literally
clarify your position. Sorry.
All right, so given that Iran is trading in Chinese yuan and causing
Because
other
they're under
countries-
sanction.
Right, great. They're unethical. They
do
subvert
you mean?
U.S. sanctions to do so.
Hold on. They're subverting U.S. sanction. They're under sanction. They can't trade in the U.S. dollar. They have to use another currency. What do you mean?
Yes, we shouldn't give them
Again,
access
your
to free
argument's
trade
not making
because they're
the
unethical.
fact that they, Kevin, the fact that they,
You act like
the
we're
fact
doing
that they
this
are
just
under,
to, just
the
to cause
fact
issue
that
with
they,
Iran.
the fact that they are under sanctions is one of the reasons why they're limited from ever establishing hegemony, because they can't get themselves into that dominant position where their own currency would be a dominant position.
And
If you're
and
going to
they're
make the
not-
argument, if you're
and they're
going
not-
to make the
and they're not
argument, if
dominant
you're
over the
going
Strait of
to make
Hormuz.
the,
That's
I'm
a
speaking,
profound
if you're
point.
going to make the argument about hegemony and you're a competing petrodollar like the petro yuan, then you need to then put China as the one who's going to establish hegemony, not Iran. Iran being
Great.
someone who
Okay.
trades in the Chinese dollar, but not in their own dollar. That's an issue, right? So your argument is already flawed. Can you explain to me how Iran, as the country itself, is the primary going to be the primary entity establishing hegemony? Because if China established hegemony with its own yuan, then that is a different argument. Then it's China, not Iran, establishing hegemony,
Iran is
and
the
that's not
proxy of China.
based around oil production.
Iran is the proxy of China, and that's why our focus is on
It's
Iran.
not oh my God, it's an ally.
not?
You can't really call it a proxy, dude. It's
We are
not doing
engaged in
China's
proxy
bidding.
combat. That's what Israel is to the
Okay,
United
can you
States.
explain to me how Iran is a proxy of China, but shutting down the Strait of Hormuz, impacting access that China has to
Do they
Iranian
fly
oil?
MiGs? Do they fly MiGs? Do they fight Chinese planes? Yes. Do they buy Chinese arms? Yes. So we have second generation American
Because
and
they're
Chinese,
under
Chinese
sanction
equipment
from
in
the
combat.
U.S. That doesn't make them a proxy. That makes them a
so
customer.
absurd.
So we are a proxy of, or a country is a proxy of any nation in regards to, I guess, a war solely based off of getting supplies from them, primarily due to another country's
funding,
significant
yes.
sanctions on them, which literally stops them from getting it from anywhere else.
Do you think we should be
I'll
arming
drop
Iran?
Hector. I think Martina has it. I think Martina has this. I'll drop. Appreciate you, King.
I appreciate you coming up,
You don't
BTG.
gotta, I can also drop. I didn't mean to. Kevin's just.
No, go ahead. I gotta run
being
anyway.
silly.
He's making all these arguments, and I just want him to really get down to the meat and bones of it. I want him to go under the surface of the shit that he's saying.
I think Kevin's argument is somehow Iran is China, so we attacked Iran and
They are a
not
proxy.
China.
I think you're wildly inaccurate to say otherwise. Do you think Israel is a proxy of the United States?
At some points, the United States is a proxy of Israel, if we're being honest.
I was
absurd.
about to say, yeah,
We
literally.
have aligning interests, but
Literally.
the aligning interest is securing the United States dollar. I think it's very...
What?
Brother, is your concern that BRICS was going to debunk the U.S. dollar as petrodollar? Because there's a million reasons why
debunk
that's
wouldn't
kind
be the
of
right
dumb.
word, right? It'd be devalue.
I'm sorry, but really quickly, I want to go back to that point.
Hold on. You would displace the dollar, so it wouldn't be the petrodollar anymore. It'd be the petro, fill in the blank of whichever other type of currency you want. Devalue would be the collapse, like the value coming down of the dollar itself. Devaluing the dollar is like a different thing that you could attack on multiple different
I really want to understand how, I do really want him to answer that, but I really want to go back to the point that you would say that the U.S. and Israel wouldn't have any type of proxy relationship that China and Iran has. I really want you to substantiate that.
Well, I don't know I know that Israel, like U.S. dollar values off the dome of my head, and I don't have access to a PC right now, so I can't like leave my phone screen. But I'm convinced that they have weapons. I'm sure that's 100% true. I know they've received funding, so they are supplying oil to China. So China views them as a strategic asset because of the dependency for this energy product. I mean, Europe purchases as well, but we have a vetted interest in Saudi Arabia, like I said, because they align with our trade. We're in this position because we came off the gold standard. I mean, there's no arguing that.
One of those guys.
In order to legitimize the U.S. dollar, this is why we're there.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely love you gold standard bros. You gold standard bros are the greatest. We messed up with the gold standards. No reason we got off of it. There's no reason we shouldn't get back on it, so on and so forth.
I mean, I didn't argue in that position. I'm just speaking factually here.
Yeah, yeah, right, cool. Do you want to answer my question yet? Can
you repeat, because
the one where you says that
alone, there's 3 people screaming.
U.S. isn't a proxy of Israel, and Israel wouldn't be a proxy of the United States, but China and Iran is.
Wait, no, I said that to accurately depict my stance, I believe that the United States has a proxy. That proxy is Israel. Now, in relation to Russia and China, Iran acts as a proxy as them. They're both investing. We are both investing in our own individual proxies. And that keeps us out of combat with these countries because we're both nuclear powers.
But now you're changing what you said. But okay.
I've maintained that the entire time.
No.
If Israel is a true proxy, then why won't they cut it out in Lebanon?
Didn't we just? I think they signed like 2 hours ago, like an agreement. But I mean,
no. Israel. Hold on. Israel has consistently gone against agreements that have tried to be struck because they don't know how to respect a ceasefire for the life of them.
You're pointing
and they continue.
You're pointing to one example right now.
They continue.
I know, but you interrupted
because
me.
I think
this
you
is only
think
fair.
I think you misunderstand the definition of a proxy. The same way Iran doesn't do everything at the behest of China. They have a strategic relationship, but they're not necessarily a proxy relationship. Now, Israel always manages to extract money and power from the United States. The United States always manages to follow Israel's lead, not necessarily the inverse. What is happening right now is the U.S. is acting as a proxy of Israel, and it entering Iran in the first place, and it continuing to fund them despite the fact that they refuse to follow the foreign policy and like requests that are coming out of this White House. Trump has not been able to rein them in at all. He has, in fact, followed Bibi into Iran, not the reverse.
They signed an agreement like 2 hours ago.
Yes, they said it was the beginning of the beginning of the beginning of negotiations. This is the same thing that they did after the MOU
that's
when they
step,
struck
right?
Iran, and then they had an agreement then, and then there was another strike. I don't know why we keep playing this game where we look at these deals as being such great things when they're broken in 0.2 seconds. Listen closely to the words that I'm saying. Every single few days, we have a new deal and a new signature, and everything's going to be well. And then Israel says, we do what we want, bitch. And then, bam, someone gets bombed again. And then we go in this full circle. And we especially can't trust it under this administration because he quite literally says things just to impact the stock market. These deals mean nothing to me until we see actual fruition, which clearly, time and time again, just seems to go right back full circle.
And I will say, last time we were in this situation, we had U.S. reps, Pakistani reps, and Iranian reps all saying that Lebanon was included in the ceasefire. And then Israel came out and was like, nuh-uh. You got to get to a point where you actually hear someone from Israel say the ceasefire is real and that they're actually going to pull out of Lebanon, which they aren't. They've consistently
I would believe
no.
it from Israel more at this point than the United States, actually.
From my perspective, like, the threat of Hezbollah is like very significant to Israel.
Why does Hezbollah exist?
Why does Hezbollah exist? Well, they are in themselves a proxy of Iran, right?
Oh my God, why does Hezbollah exist?
Because they're funded by Iran.
No, because when Israel started attacking Lebanon, the Lebanese army was ill-suited to defend itself, and Hezbollah was a citizen-driven initiative to defend itself from Israel's attacks into their lands. And so, like, if you want to think about this, again, if Israel could just stop invading Lebanon, they could probably chill the fuck out for a minute.
So Hezbollah would just lose the agency they have in Lebanon? That's, to me,
No,
absurd.
I'm not saying that they would lose the agency they have in Lebanon. I'm saying the reason that they exist is to defend, because Lebanon didn't have an appropriate defense force to defend itself when Israel started invading.
Now I realize why you guys make the arguments you make, because you're moral relativists, right? So now we're like curtailing some sympathy towards like honor killing and like female genital mutilation.
Do you think violent groups protecting a state, that is an army, that is a defense force, right? For some reason we talk about Hezbollah as if it's something different from U.S. defensive forces or Israeli defense forces. They are violent groups that participate in violent acts, sometimes in offense, sometimes in defense. But that is the situation. You need to be clear-eyed in what things are.
Let's be frank here, right? Because the Boston Tea Party wasn't for like female genital mutilation. So
the Boston Tea, what are you talking about? They burnt witches back in the day, you moron.
Yeah, but that wasn't the Boston Tea Party. That wasn't like a hot button issue in America. Those are like.
Do you not know what like the Salem witch trials are? This is so
those
ridiculous.
Are Quakers, right?
This is so ridiculous. And to be very clear.
What are you talking about? They're Quakers.
I'm speaking to be very clear.
So the Salem witch trial, were they Quakers?
In the United States today, we are all for abusing, misusing, and failing to properly care for women's genitalia. We let women bleed out in parking lots. We refuse to deal with ectopic pregnancies. We refuse to keep women from falling into sepsis because of pregnancies that have failed. The United States has been abusing women's bodies for a very long time. If you would like to discuss this, and it comes from Christian nationalism, it comes from religious extremism. You cannot, again, sit here and be like, brown people do a religious extremism thing bad, but white people do religious extremism thing
good. I didn't
just to let you know, Martina, he's been doing his ever-loving best to wiggle himself out of every hole he puts himself in for the entirety of this conversation.
And to also be quite clear, with you, I'm still speaking. To also be quite clear with you, the IDF uses grape as a legitimate means of warfare.
Yeah, I will say it's under question. I do think
under
the United
question.
States, yeah, I mean it hasn't been thoroughly investigated.
What do you mean? They just talk about it. They gloat about it. They've used it. They've used it against the activists who are trying to take boats full of aid to Gaza. Like, this is not under debate. This is just a thing.
Hasn't been under investigation by who? Who hasn't been under investigation by? No. Answer my question. Answer my question. Who hasn't it been under investigation by? Who hasn't investigated it? Israel? Is that your argument?
I'm not sure.
We are sure. Now, it has been investigated by several watchdog groups, by several independent agencies. The only person who may not have investigated it is Israel. And if they did, they obviously deny every single bit of it.
What you have right now is just like a release of reports, and I believe those reports should be treated with the utmost seriousness. However, that's no reason to stop what's going on in the Middle East. But
right, no reason to stop bombing predominantly women and children.
This is so absurd to me that we're comparing like Christian nationalism to Islamic fundamentalism.
It's fundamentalism. They're the same thing. What do you mean? They're religious
exists in the modern world, and then one doesn't.
What?
Like, there's no Christian nationalists that
are
like
talking about?
Persecuting women in mass.
There are Christian Hold on. There are Christian nationalists in this country. There are Christian churches. The reason why child marriage has not been outlawed is because Christian churches lobby against it. Because if an adult rapes an underage girl in parts of the Bible Belt, they marry her to that person because she's pregnant, and they don't want the child to be. I don't know how much I can curse on here.
You can't say this without empiricism. So
what are you? Oh my God!
So let's
debate.
Be frank, right?
Hold on, Kevin. Do we or do we not? Do we or do we not? I'm still speaking. Do we or do we not have a vice president who has openly said that he is for Christian nationalist values in the past, and also a Secretary of Defense who follows a Christian nationalist theist and like is part of that church, whatever the hell the pastor.
I mean,
I don't know what Christian nationalists call their leader.
This is like a long-winded question, but to speak to you, it's like, I mean, I have Christian values, and I think they're superior. I think that's self-evident in the fact that the West is in the position
you think Christian values are fundamentally better than everything else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, which Christian value is the best one? The stoning the kids when they speak back to their parents?
No, I don't think that's practiced in any Christian society. So.
But isn't that a fundamental Christian thing in the Bible? No.
Is that something Christ did, or is that New Testament?
Oh, so if you want to talk about Christ, can we talk about red letter Jesus then? Aren't you supposed to love the stranger?
I also thought Christ was God.
100%.
I guess we're walking that back. And some people don't believe in the Trinity.
You're supposed to. Sorry, do you want to go, Hector?
No, just I don't want to sit here and have a religious conversation. I'm not gonna lie. I don't give a fuck. Here in the United States, we have separation. No, it's not knock to you. In the United States, we have a separation of church and state. You have a right to religious freedom, and we're not supposed to show any preference towards either other. So whatever belief system you have, good for you. Congratulations. W and Sky Daddy. I don't know what the hell that has to do with the fact that the Trump administration is violating every single aspect of your little Christian fucking faith. Literally, by your book, by your definition, Donald Trump would be evil. You can talk about the fruits of the Spirit. You can talk about the fact that he's been unfaithful to 3 of his wives. You can talk about how he's been held civilly liable for the sexual assault of E. Jean Carroll. You can talk about how he's not shown love and kindness and respect to the stranger, welcoming them in when they need help. You can talk about the fact that he's slashing benefits, whereas Jesus went out and fed people. He ministered to them. You can talk about the fact that literally today, Donald Trump was at the Faith and Freedom Conference and was sitting there demonizing and talking about Democrats, demonizing and shooting down on people, spreading mass lies about the FBI, criticizing Catholics, and all this stupid shit. And so I really, really, really don't care about whatever you think your Christian values are, because it's not about offense. It's about the fact that you said he's like Christian values and stuff. The man who allegedly says he's a Christian, blah, 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 and you voted for him as a Christian is a complete opposite of said values. Congratulations. He's
part of the Republican Party, right? So
I don't know
I don't see liberals how do liberals represent Christian values? That's absurd.
The fuck do you mean? How do liberals represent Christian values? Are you joking?
Yes. No, I'm not joking. Are you insane? Like, I'm supposed to be like pro Skittles and pro child murder, man. That's
a Skittle. What the fuck is a Skittle? What?
Skittles are delicious snack.
a rainbow.
Got you. He was being homophobic. Got it. Cool.
What's homophobic about that?
Yeah, that's what we were doing there.
Are gay people above like slight humor? Like that's absurd.
Yeah. So, do you have an irrational fear or aversion to homosexuality?
Well, I'm conflicted about it. I mean,
Caller on the line, hold for a second. That's literally the point. You're conflicted about something that you aren't, and gay people having equal rights just like everyone else. Imagine that. Imagine being conflicted about the fact that it wasn't up until 2015 where people can legally marry the same sex versus cis people who can do it long before them.
I mean,
imagine
I'm
being
not the most
conflicted
religious
about the
person.
fact that LGBTQ
Can I-
people quite literally were persecuted with sodomy laws, with their businesses being burned
You're
down,
grandstanding,
being shut out by churches. And many other institutions under the name of Christianity and Christian nationalism, but you're conflicted about LGBTQ people.
Yeah, because I think marriage exists exclusively to religion, so I don't know why you have to.
Yep, and people get married
why
who
you
are
have to-
not religious. Now what?
Yeah, well, it's between a man and a woman, right?
Yep, according to your faith that I don't give a fuck about. Neither does the United States
So, I mean,
government.
I don't know
nor should
why.
it.
I don't know why you have to I don't know why you have to placate faith or openly.
No one's
disrespect it.
placating
That's what I'm
faith.
conflicted
You're.
about.
I'm not disrespecting your
Well,
faith.
you
I'm
literally are when
disrespecting
it's-
your
when it's a man
contradiction of
marrying a
faith.
man, right?
I'm contradicting
No,
your perception
you're
of your
placating when
faith.
it's a man marrying a man, right? You tracking or?
Who
It's
cares?
objectively not a marriage.
According to you
that's why
and
I'm
your
conflicted.
faith, allegedly, the Bible does not say anything about two men not being able to marry
Yeah,
each
they just
other.
said they shouldn't lay together like a man and a woman shall. But
Which version was that?
I mean, it's from the Bible. It's not
Which version was that? What was your Bible interpreted as? Interpreted from?
ESV. It's
What was that
interpreted
interpreted from?
Aramaic, right? Aramaic.
And where did that come from?
Well, Greek from Aramaic, right?
What was that word that was
Greek,
used
I mean.
there before the American translations?
It would have been Greek, right?
What was the word before?
Well, Greek from. So you're saying translated. It's been translated English from Greek from Aramaic.
What were the words used
I'm not
before
like a Bible scholar,
men
but
and
is that
men,
right? Yeah, well, I'm not sure.
You're not sure.
Maybe I'm naive about this. Please educate me.
Men lie with boys. Boys. Thank you so much, Lainey. Arsenal Kotai. That was the word.
What gender are
And it
boys?
was to describe pedophilia.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'd have to research this more. I only started rereading the Bible.
Do you
but
see why I
was
don't
very
give a
Christian.
shit about your book and how you want to launch some Christian nationalist movement, and you did so by supporting the Trump administration? Because you guys don't even know your own shit.
Well, I mean, the translation's been there for 600 years, so I would logically say that what we experience now as Christian ethos has been made in that time. I mean, Christianity.
I actually don't care. Last night I did way too much on the last religious conversation. I'm just over talking about religion. Your religion should not determine other people's lives and how they live and who they marry here in the United States. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And if you were consistent with your religion, you wouldn't support all the other things that Donald Trump is doing to harm people, because that's the opposite of what Jesus stood for. What's super funny is that when we bring up the Old Testament, you tried to go, oh, well, is that red letter Jesus? Well, red letter Jesus is against Trump. The dude literally cited Matthew today at the Faith and Freedom conference. He literally cited Matthew today, but he didn't say shit about Matthew 25. He didn't say shit about the least of these. Those verses he didn't give a damn about. That's the problem that I have with religious people. Not so much well, I do have issues with the institution of religion, but you have every right to practice it. But I have a problem with all you guys who can't even properly translate your own fucking book. Caller on the line, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did, sir.
And do you regret your vote?
Somewhat. I would agree that Trump is someone who deserves criticism, scorn. I disagree with some of your characterizations of the MAGA base. Look, I was an oyster farmer myself. I think Trump ran as an isolationist. I think
You sound like Graham Plattner.
I'm sorry, sir, that I would sound that way, but
I'm not saying it as an insult. It was just kind of a funny thing to me. You just sound like Graham Plattner. It's crazy. I almost thought it was Graham Plattner calling in. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Look, I do believe in beating Susan Collins. Beating Susan Collins is very important to me, but I am not Graham Plattner. Look, I'm an isolationist. I would generally put America first, and Trump did end many wars for his first term, and the unemployment numbers were low over his first term. I mean, I think we can agree on that.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good example of going back to his first term to defend the monstrosities he's committing under his second term.
Yeah, like I said, I think he's failed at times over his second term. What about his first term? What do you challenge as far as the economic record goes? What do you dislike about that?
In regards to his economic record, he's spending substantially more than previous presidents, and it's only been a year and a half. $3 billion we were looking at from his first term. Despite that, he is reducing tax revenue, but with the big, beautiful bill, and not replacing with tariffs, where he tried to, but he did it in an unconstitutional way. Inflation is now outpacing wage growth due to his tariffs, and then the war in Iran. After he ran off of no new wars, and we don't seem to be getting what we actually wanted from the region, which was allegedly to stop them from having nuclear capacity, even though we could have led with the diplomatic route, which he violated in every single term, in every single way. You said you disagreed with my characterizations of the MAGA movement. What part of my characterizations did you disagree with? Also, Trump didn't really end any wars as well.
Yes, I think they stooped by the ending wars part. I think one could argue that with what's going on, or what did go on in Iran, was a conflict, a decapitation, not necessarily a perma war. It wasn't like the withdrawal in Afghanistan from the president just before Trump. And yes, I will concede he beat Trump. I felt that there was sufficient motive to engage. Look, I'm a former Marine guy myself, a mercenary, and there was sufficient motive to engage with Iran at that time. Now, do I agree with the extent to which we went about that? No.
How were there sufficient motives when it was all under them about to be weeks away from a nuclear bomb, which is the justification that they gave for striking their 3 bases over the summer of 2025? And then follow up to February, we did it again under the same notion that they were weeks away from a nuclear bomb, despite the United States President Trump administration saying that we completely obliterated the nuclear capacity, and our own intelligence, specifically Tulsi Gabbard, showing that they were not an immediate threat.
Yeah, hey, let's say, for the sake of the argument, that they were actually a week away.
Let's rate Erica. W's in the chat to Godzilla for the $5 super chat. So God said no men and men, but nothing about women and women. Have they even took the time to think about that? That's a great point. Almost supports another argument that the Bible is written by men for men to support the patriarchy and not a divine figure, unless that divine figure is also a patriarchal piece of shit. I'm not going to go there. I really don't like to shit on religion because I respect a lot of religious people. But when y'all tout around this nonsense, it gets me a little irritated, a little irked, just a little bit. Let's see here.
Hey, Hector.
Hey, Chris, you called me, but I was live.
Chris.
Crits. I said crits.
Oh, dude, I thought you called me Chris. I was like, how dare you? So just a little info drop, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So today, went to the thing I was telling you about yesterday. Greg Stoker was there. got to talk to him. Got to talk to Jolly a little bit on the phone. Apparently, they work together a lot. But Greg actually lives in Austin. Do you still live in Austin?
Greg Abbott, yeah, he's
No,
very
you.
close to the Capitol. Me, no. Dallas.
Where'd you go? Dude, you're sick. So
Yeah, I don't
I
like
guess
it here.
like
It's better in
maybe if
Austin.
you know, maybe you know people in Austin. He's trying to kind of come together with some influencers in the Austin area because that's where he is. Greg Stoker, not Greg Abbott, by the way. And so yeah, I was telling him I knew a few people in Austin. Apparently, I lost one, but he's interested in working with a lot of us. So
Yeah.
if you know anyone, you let me know.
I may have a few people. They didn't want men to quote unquote act like women because they felt that women were inferior. Exactly, Lainey. Exactly, Lainey. That's why we literally say, and even this is something I have to watch, something I have to check in myself. But this is literally why we use like women or feminine traits as an insult. That's literally why. It's all about the degradation of women. Jubby's in the chat to above infinity for the $10 super chat. I don't know if he misspoke or what, Hector, but I'm a RETD, United States Marine, and no Marine is a mercenary. It doesn't work like that. So would you please ask him to clarify? I don't know if a lot of people picked up on it, but his voice changed 3 times in that entire conversation. He was a troll. That's why I hung up.
Yeah, it got real like chipmunky at one point toward the end for like 10 seconds.
I thought
Yeah.
his mic was glitching.
He was just a troll. That's it.
Man,
So
they suck.
Kevin was
anyways,
also a troll, question mark?
I think Kevin
Or he just
genuinely
doesn't know
believed
what
that
things
stupid
are.
shit. I think he genuinely believed that stuff. And it's just, again, when you the right wing social media pipeline is very strong, very persistent, very invasive, to the point where I thought my algorithms were very airtight. Like particularly on my TikTok is airtight. I do not see MAGA shit. My Instagram is pretty good as well. But then when I go to other ones and I saw these, YouTube specifically, that's where a lot of these people are radicalized. YouTube and X, oh my God. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. They'll push this bullshit to you. Push this bullshit to you.
Nazi
It's
space Twitter is crazy.
crazy.
I said Nazi space Twitter is crazy.
Nazi space Twitter. Before we rate Erica, I would absolutely love it if we knocked out these cherries. We have 83 more of those to go. If we can clear the cherries before we go, I would appreciate it. Not a longer live today. I know I could have because it's the weekend, but I have other plans. So I'm going to get into those plans and stuff. Oh yes, Facebook. I totally forgot about Facebook. I literally deleted my Facebook lady because of how gross it is. I hate Facebook with a passion. Hate it.
Never expected that from you, Hector. Thought you'd be all over Facebook.
Why?
Who uses
I'm like a
Facebook?
Facebook guy. I do.
Oh, I thought it was just like grandmas.
I don't know. I'll be on there.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you, Gucci. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Vic Rob. WCR. 40 more to go. 40 more to go of the cherries, and then we're going to raid Erica. In fact, we'll just send YouTube right now. 103 of you here. We'll just send the YouTube over there right now. Go show Erica some love. Go show Erica some love. I already set it to redirect to her over on the YouTube side. So the second I end it, it's going to take you there. Go show Erica some love and support. We greatly appreciate it. Every last one of you on the YouTube side, thank you for the likes, the shares, the comments, the subscriptions, the super chats, the super stickers, and the memberships. Big W's to you guys for your support. Shout out to my day ones. Shout out to my mods. Working hard over there for all the things that I am missing. And I'll catch y'all over in Erica's live for a little bit, just for a second. Bye.